Chapter 59. The vast number of male compatriots is undoubtedly the main audience legion of all live broadcasting platforms. Whether it is a single dog or a loving dog, whether it is a student or a working dog, energetic young people can always find their own fun in different live broadcasting rooms, watching girls act cute and sing, learning about master games, watching outdoor experts fishing and hunting. However, always remember this, but the growing number of female compatriots must not be ignored. Especially for an anchor like Lu Chun who sells his talents, the number of charming fans in his fish fan circle, that is, the number of female fans, is quite considerable, and it is a group that must be taken care of. Compared with Wang fans, charming fans have a very valuable quality, that is, they are often very careful, good at using promotional activities on the website to earn free fish balls, and then reward them to the anchor they like. Don't underestimate the promotional nature of free fish balls. The number of 10 or hundreds of people who can receive it is not much. Thousands of people are very powerful, and the average reward rate of charming fans is much higher than that of Wang fans. Therefore, Lu Chun chose the third song of the PK Live show as Cinderella. The beautiful girls are anchors, not the audience, so this song will definitely arouse their resonance and love. Which girl doesn't have the dream of Cinderella in her heart? In order to show his sincerity, Lu Chun also specially made a flash animation MV for the song. The previous MV of the new song, because it is edited with movie footage and lyrics, is very simple and easy to produce. However, this 7-minute animation belongs to Lu Chun's original content. Although it is not a professional level work, it also uses some small materials from the internet, and it took him 3 days. Lu Fei works first, for exquisite artistic fonts appeared in the live interface. However, the main title gradually faded, and the words Cinderella/lyrics, Lu Fei/animation, Lu Fei/post, Lu Fei slowly appeared, and a shadowy sketch of a girl appeared on the screen.
Wow.
The anchor is so talented. He can play, sing, create original works, and make animation. It's great. Lu Fei de Rape Flower. I must record it and save it on the computer to enjoy. You can obviously rely on your face to eat. Why do you have to rely on talent? I really can't figure it out. Stop talking, let's listen to the song. Listen to music. Just as Lu Chun expected, the animation he made hit the cute spot of the seductive fans. 100 fish balls appeared in waves, and the combo frequently reached 100 plus, fully demonstrating the fighting power of the girls. How did I fall in love with you? I'm asking myself. I can give up anything, but I can't believe I can't leave today. You are not beautiful, but you are extremely cute. Oh, Cinderella, my Cinderella. Simple guitar playing, without any electronic accompaniment. Lu Chun's voice was as clean and clear as ever, full of emotion, like a clear spring that could wash away the impetuosity and worries in people's hearts, making everyone unconsciously fall into the mood of the song. The animation presented in the live broadcast interface perfectly matched the theme of the lyrics. The story of an ordinary girl and a handsome and talented man meeting and falling in love on campus was outlined with plain colors and simplified lines. Although it was not very exquisite, it was still able to deeply move the hearts of the girls who liked and pursued romance. At this time, countless male compatriots have shown their generosity and tolerance. Not many people use the barrage to make noise, leaving the space to the seductive fans. Maybe waiting for you to come. After 5 minutes of playing and singing, the animation continued to play for 1 minute, leaving everyone a happy ending. Those who like, appreciate, admire, and be moved are all expressed in the barrage and fishballs. 8:45, Whale TV Lu Fei Live Broadcast Room, Online Popularity, 579020. At the same time, Whale TV's hot list was updated again. The hot list, located in a prominent position on the homepage, has a total of 12 places. According to the online popularity of the live broadcast room, the number of barrage and the number of GIFs, a fixed formula is used to convert the corresponding value automatically ranked, which is one of the most important factors to measure the strength of an anchor. On Whale TV's hot list, it is refreshed every 15 minutes. Since the official start of the PK-themed show at 8:00 Whale TV's number one female anchor Chinger Baby has been firmly occupying the top spot on the hot list. She has not given up the throne even after 3 refreshes, showing her strong popularity. The competition for the 11 positions below her is also fierce, and all the popular anchors on the list are, without exception, popular anchors. In the first 2 updates, Lu Chen was not on the list. But after the list was refreshed at 8:45, he was ranked 11th. Lu Feida is on the hot list of the whole station. Immediately, a sharp-eyed fan noticed and quickly typed a barrage. 11th. Immediately, there was a tide of response. General Lu is big and mighty. Congratulations to the anchor. You have climbed to the peak again and won the championship. Ha ha ha. Let's keep up the good work and help the anchor continue to rush up. Rush. The people of Zhongbei send a congratulatory message. The people of Sichuan send a congratulatory message. The people of Beijing send a congratulatory message. The people of Shanghai send a congratulatory message. The people of Taiwan send a congratulatory message. The people of Chaoshan, congratulatory messages filled the screen, all of which congratulated Lu Chen on his first achievement in the PK-themed show. It's really not easy for Lu Fei's live broadcasting room to be on the hot list of the whole station, and it is also worth congratulating. Although it has been on the list before, there was no fierce competition like the PK-themed show at night at that time, and there was a lot of chance for it to be on the list. Now that he is on the list at this time, it is a real proof of popularity, and Lu Chen's basic data is the lowest among all 24 PK anchors, so it naturally seems extraordinary. Many fish fans understand this, so they feel proud, because Lu Chen's success is inseparable from their support, and his achievements are worth sharing with more than 500,000 online viewers. And countless Lu Jiejun members believe that Lu Chen will definitely be able to rush to the top 5 throne of PK. But for Lu Chen's competitors, especially those with similar rankings, it is quite annoying. This year's Whale TV PK themed show rewards are very rich. It is a rare big deal for Whale TV this year. The publicity and promotion work are in place, showing the official determination to reinvigorate the glory of the website. As a first-line and top anchor in Whale TV, no one wants to admit defeat in this competition. The strong want to be stronger, and the second strong want to replace the position of the strong. It is natural that the competition is fierce. The 24 anchors who participated in the PK-themed show were notified by the website early and knew the list of competitors in advance. If they want to win, it is absolutely necessary to know themselves and their opponents in advance. Lu Chen, also known as Lu Fei, was originally not taken seriously by anyone. As a new anchor of Whale TV, his qualifications are too shallow. Although the momentum of his rise is very fast, the lack of enough fan accumulation is a fatal weakness, and he is destined to be a soy sauce character. As for the theme of the graduation season and the original folk song, it is nothing more than a grandstanding move to gain popularity. They will use facts to teach their opponents a lesson and let Lu Chen know that newcomers are newcomers and don't try to challenge the top. However, the facts have given those opponents who despise Lu Chen a loud slap in the face. Nearly half of the live show PK time, Lu Chen has reached the 11th place on the hot list of the whole station, with an online popularity of nearly 600,000. With such data, if you say that you don't have the qualifications to challenge the top 5, you have to lie with your eyes open. Some fan support groups of anchors with similar rankings quickly noticed the threat from Lu Chen. While they strengthen their support for their anchors, they also plan targeted means in the group. There is a possibility of manipulation in any list. There are many ways to suppress a competitor, such as finding violations to report, making a scene in the room to brush black barrage, pretending to be a black fan, and so on. Some fans are fanatical and will not speak any reason at all. With the update of the hot list, an undercurrent rushed towards Lu Fei's live broadcast room. At this moment, Lu Chen was still unaware of it. He was preparing to sing the 4th song. Chapter 60. The 4th song is also a new song. For this PK Live show, Lu Chen prepared 5 new songs to debut on Whale TV. He has already sung Love in the Wind and The Brother Who Slept on My Upper Bunk before. The third song, Cinderella, is a foreshadowing. The fourth song will be a new song to maintain the current high popularity and further improve. The audience always likes the new and hates the old. Lu Chun is going to conquer everyone with a steady stream of original works. But before singing, in accordance with international practice, he expressed his thanks to the local tycoons who gave him rewards. Rewarding and thanking is the daily routine of anchors. Many small anchors have to thank others by name even if they give 100 fishballs, in order to win over fans and increase popularity so that the audience who gave them rewards have a sense of accomplishment. Lu Chun can't do this. It's not that he wants to be a big shot, but there are too many people who have given hundreds or thousands of fishballs. If he thanks them one by one, he won't have to sing in this live show. Just thanking them is enough. The most important thing is that he has won the love and support of fish fans, not by acting cute and brushing his mouth, but by strength. Of course, local tycoons like Li Bai and Big Brother must be thanked. Here to express my heartfelt thanks. With your support, I have the motivation to struggle. The following song is also my original work. It is also a folk song, and it is also the first time I sang it. I hope you like it. Just as Lu Chun thanked the local tycoons and fans, he entered Lu Fei's live broadcast room. Sui-en is definitely not his real name. His real name is Sui-en, an editor of Yunjing Music Network. Founded in 2007, Yunjing Music Network is one of the top 5 music websites in China. Sui-en has joined the website as an insider for 5 years and can be regarded as a senior editor. In addition, he also has a temporary identity at the moment, that is, one of the 12 judges of Whale TV PK live show. He has the power to rate and evaluate the 24 participating anchors and has the ability to affect the final ranking. When he clicked into Lu Fei's live broadcast room, Sui-en was in a very bad mood. The live broadcast room he entered belongs to a female anchor named Yu Gich. In all honesty, the anchor is very beautiful, and she has at least 8 points under careful dressing. Unfortunately, what is she performing? She sings a song for 1 minute, but she has to act coquettishly for 3 minutes. What's amazing is not singing but pouting, frowning, squeezing face, shaking chest. That chest is squeezed from B cup to C+ cup. Sui-en was defeated after watching for 3 minutes. If it weren't for his duties as a judge, he wouldn't have been able to stay for 3 seconds. As for Lu Fei, the theme of his show was called Graduation Season, which seemed a little interesting and suited to the current season. But what the hell was a campus folk song? And in the theme, he is a new folk song of folk songs of the new generation. Young people nowadays don't even blush when they brag. As a real industry person, Sui-en is very helpless. On the one hand, the original power of domestic pop music is declining. On the other hand, all the newcomers claim to be able to write original songs. In the end, they're all rubbish songs bought with money. Even if they change their appearance and title their own works, they still coax fans to spend a lot of money. As an editor of a music website, Sui-en has encountered too many such things. Now he wants to vomit when he sees original works. So, he doesn't have any expectations at all. He is completely in line with the professional attitude of taking money to do things. As a result, as soon as he entered the live broadcast room, Sui-en saw a young man holding a guitar and talking to the microphone. His impression suddenly became very bad. Sui-en instinctively wanted to click the exit option in the upper right corner, but he resisted and moved the cursor to playback. Sui-en logged in with a privileged account issued by the official Whale TV. The privileged account can't see the barrage or reward messages in the live broadcast room, and it is invisible when entering and exiting, and can play back the past live broadcast content. He wants to start browsing from the very beginning, and also gives the young man 3 minutes of time. If 3 minutes can't make Sui-en interested, then he will say goodbye to the anchor. As for the 10 blue whales in the account, he will not waste any of them. The live playback began. 3 minutes later, Sui-en sat motionless, with a look of surprise on his face, because he found that he almost missed a talent. He never dreamed that the song played and sung by the anchor named Lu Fei turned out to be an original work, but also a very good work. At least in recent years, few folk songs can be compared to it. Love in the Wind, campus folk song. Original newcomer, Swayan suddenly had a feeling of finding a treasure in the utility room, and he couldn't help but get excited. After the first song was sung, Swayan suppressed the idea of listening to it again and dragged the progress bar to fast forward to the second song. The Brother Who Slept on My Upper Bunk. It was still an original work, and the similar style was played and sung perfectly and very moving. Swayan was completely speechless. When did such a talented young man appear in the already declining folk song world? Swayan was 100% sure that he had never heard of these two songs before, and the face of the anchor was also very strange. Then the third song, Cinderella. Swayan's face turned red, not because he was moved. He had long passed the age of being moved, but because he was too excited. Without the slightest hesitation, he sent out 5 of the 10 blue whales in his account. 1 blue whale represents 1 good comment. The more good comments the anchor receives, it will affect the final ranking. The reason why Swayan didn't send out all the blue whales was that according to the rules, he could only send 50% to one anchor. After sending out 5 good comments, Swayan was still not satisfied. He copied the link address of the live broadcast room, opened the QQ sticky post, and sent it to 2 friends in the circle. You should see this young man and listen to his songs. His 2 friends are also the judges of the Whale TV PK live show. Swayan would rather keep all the good comments in his account than send them out easily, but for this anchor named Lu Fei, he only hates that his votes are limited. So he needs the support of his companions. If this PK live show is given to those who show off their coquettishness, Swayan will feel sorry for himself. And Lu Chin knew nothing about this. When Swayan played back the live broadcast, he was singing the 4th song of the graduation season. The name of this new song is The Bright Times of Youth. Back in May at the end of spring, there are not many people in the market in the early morning. Children sing in front of the door. The sun warms the stream. Willow catkins blow in the strong wind. People under the shadow of the tree want to sleep. The silent people begin to be happy from this moment. The puppet that takes off the cold winter. My melancholy white shirt, the first cigarette in the pocket of youth, my first awakening of love, never dared to tell you. The first song of the graduation season, Love in the Wind, is about love. The second song, The Brother Who Slept on My Upper Bunk, for boys represents friendship, and the third song, Cinderella, for girls is about the fantasy of love. Then this song, The Bright Times of Youth, is about nostalgia, nostalgia for the time of youth, nostalgia for that very innocent era, nostalgia for ignorant love, simple life, and carefree days. In the lyrics, the house covered with ivy, the neighbor under the eaves, the persimmon tree, the radio, all reflect a strong nostalgia. Listening to him playing and singing, it is as if returning to that very good time. The people who can most resonate with this song are undoubtedly people born in the 1970s, 1980s, and early 1990s, because they have a deep memory of that era. The playful teenager holds the comic book and doesn't let go, accompanies me to sleep, is the sorrow of the moon, and the pillow full of dreams, the pillow covered with saliva. Vaguely in the dream. Do you often recall the past? Many fans who listen to the song are touched. Nice song, it reminds me of when I was a child. When I was a child +1, when I was still in the countryside, I played every day fishing, catching frogs, catching loaches. Now there are no villages, only farmhouses. I want to eat maltose candy, big roll, fruit pith peel, Arctic popsicle, the foodie in front. Wait for me. My favorite radio was thrown away by my mother, 5555. Have you seen the comic strip? I want to say, what a lousy song. The singing is so bad, and there are people supporting it? What a big joke. Is this the level of the hot list? Brushed, right? It's too old. What campus folk song? It's ridiculous. Hee hee. Suddenly, in the large and warm barrage, there was a dazzling ridicule. And the number is getting more and more. Note, The Bright Times of Youth, lyrics, / composer, Zhao Lei. Chapter 61. If there are fans, there will naturally be haters. Since Lu Chun started live broadcasting in Whale TV, his popularity has been rising steadily, and his fish fans have been increasing. The momentum of his rise is extremely strong, and it is inevitable that he has attracted some haters. Haters were everywhere. Whether it was in games, forums, QQ groups, or live broadcast rooms, there were always a few active figures. They spared no effort to spit out venom, created rumors, and stirred up trouble without distinguishing right from wrong, and provoked fierce battles. Whoever was popular, they would be eliminated. The composition of haters is very complicated. Some are extremely bored, some are naturally jealous, and some are from competitors. Lu Chen's live broadcasting room has encountered haters several times, but because the three moderators, including Li Bai, have good control, they haven't caused much trouble. But this time, the situation is completely different. He has just finished playing and singing The Bright Times of Youth. In the warm and beautiful atmosphere of everyone reminiscing about the past, countless black bullet screens suddenly appeared, which seems very abnormal. Trash anchor, get out of Whale TV. This song is too ugly. It's an insult to my ears. Hee compared to our Chingo baby, it's simply a scum. Pure Brother is 3 streets away from the anchor. Everyone, go and support him. If you want to talk about guitar playing and singing, you have to look at Boss Sun. This person is not even worthy of helping Boss Sun. Let's go. This live broadcasting room is so boring. I'm going to see Miss Rain. When the black bullet screen first appeared, Lu Jiejun's fish fans didn't immediately react. After all, it was normal for hundreds of thousands of online viewers to have some objections, and no one took it seriously. Moreover, there are moderators in the live broadcasting room, and the haters can be cleared out with a click of the mouse. But when 10, 100, and thousands of black bullet screens appeared, anyone could see the problem. Lu Feida has been attacked? Many fans were furious. It felt like when they were tasting a cup of warm milk tea, they suddenly found a few green flies floating in the cup, and they were immediately disgusted. In anger, they immediately launched a counterattack. Where did these haters come from? Get out of here. Kill the whole family of haters. What chinger baby? Doesn't she only know how to show off? How dare she compare with our Lu Feida?
Get out. Get out. Get lost.
Scram. What is the housekeeper doing? Why don't you kick these haters out and block their accounts and IPs? When a person is famous, there will be many disputes. Some people are jealous of Lu Feida. These people are too disgusting. In fact, the 3-room managers had already taken action to clear the names and kick people out of the room. However, there were too many black pieces and they couldn't deal with them in time, so they didn't have much of an effect. Li Bai quickly sent a private message to Lu Chen. Be careful, someone is targeting us. Don't fall into their trap. The haters in the live broadcast platform were best at sowing discord. They deliberately pretended to be fans of a certain host and went to another live broadcast room to slander them, provoking a war between the fans of both sides. Although this kind of method was very low level because most of the fans were young and not rational enough, they were aroused with just a few words. Regardless of the consequences, they would fight it out first. In the end, both sides suffered losses. Li Bai had played live broadcast for a long time, so he was very familiar with the tricks involved. Moreover, this time he was betting with others. Although there was an agreement to limit the reward, it didn't say that he couldn't play other tricks. He had even guessed the existence of several real culprits behind the scenes. But at this time, Li Bai couldn't explain too much to Lu Chen because it was easy to affect the other party's emotions and affect the effect of the live broadcast. Moreover, if Lu Chen lost his mind in anger, he would really fall into a trap. Li Bai's scruples were reasonable, but he also underestimated Lu Chen. Lu Chen had never eaten pork, but he had seen pigs run away. He didn't need Li Bai's reminder to be alert. He immediately said to the microphone, "Please calm down, everyone. Don't be led by the haters, and please don't go to other anchors' rooms to quarrel, because that is what the haters want." Lu Chen put down the guitar and showed a relaxed and confident smile on his face. Don't quarrel and curse, because this is what the haters are best at. They are used to using their shamelessness to pull others to the same level as them, and then use their rich experience of shamelessness to defeat their opponents. We are not on the same level as them. We should look down at them from above. At this time, we just need to smile. Just like me, a contemptuous smile. His smile was contemptuous, but it didn't make people feel disgusted at all. Instead, they felt that it was very interesting. Ha ha ha, Lu Feda is right. Contemptuous of the haters. Please look at my contemptuous smile. High-level skill. Lu Fei's contempt. Damage plus 1000, psychic impact plus 9, haters plus 500% damage. They're used to using their shamelessness. Haha, Lu Fei just said it so well. Wise words. I'm going to take these words away. Don't fight with me. Trying to lead the way? That's an insult to our intelligence. Support the host. The direction of the bullet screen was instantly reversed by Lu Chen. A large number of mocking bullet screen directly crushed the haters' words into pieces. A few rich fans even tipped aircraft carriers, boosting their morale. Compared to the 600,000 online viewers and the tens of thousands of Lu Jijun members, a mere few hundred to 1,000 haters could only be arrogant for a few seconds. Regardless of whether they wanted to lead the way or stir up trouble, they were destined to fail. Lu Chen's counterattack method was not limited to just that. What was he best at? Singing. Then, he would use his singing to fight back against those with ulterior motives. Tonight, I'm very happy. Because of your support, I've achieved an unimaginable miracle. I've appeared on the homepage's trending list, ranked 11th. But I want to say, this is not enough. Because we have unparalleled courage, because we have unparalleled passion, because we are united and love. So, let us come together and fly higher. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Chen quickly reached out to readjust the camera and microphone, then stood up with his guitar in his arms. Because this song had to be sung while standing up. Life is like a big river. Sometimes tranquil, sometimes crazy. Reality is like a shackle, tying me up, unable to break free. The beginning of the song was low and depressed because of the setbacks and pressure. But the depression was short-lived. The greater the pressure, the stronger the rebound. The melody quickly became high-spirited and intense. This enigmatic life is as sharp as a knife, injuring me again and again. I know the kind of happiness I want. It was high up in the sky. I want to fly higher. Fly higher, dance like the wind, break free from the embrace. I want to fly higher, wings swirling up a storm, my heart roars, fly higher. At 8:57, Whale TV, Lu Fei Broadcasting Room, online popularity, 647,310. Countless viewers, especially those who are familiar with Lu Chen and have accompanied him all the way, are all stunned. Because what they see now is not the original Lu Chen at all. The Lu Chen who sang Love in the Wind, You Who Sat Next to Me, and Cinderella affectionately. Now Lu Chen is young, hot-blooded, passionate, and has a strong fighting power. His singing is no longer clean and clear, but vigorous and vicissitudes, full of endless power, upward power. This new song, which they have never heard before, has a completely different style from the previous ballads. That is the style of rock and roll. But despite being surprised and shocked, everyone likes it all the same. In particular, many people were angered by the haters just now. Now that they heard this hot-blooded rock and roll work, their hearts were filled with joy, incomparable joy. No need to quarrel, disdain to distinguish, arrogant to cynicism, adhere to the true self. Just like what is sung in the song, I want to fly higher, dance like the wind, break free from the embrace. I want to fly higher, wings swirling up a storm, heart roaring, fly higher. Fly higher. In front of countless screens, countless audiences were moved by Lu Chen's singing. Their blood was boiling, and their enthusiasm was completely ignited. They used countless barrage and countless fishballs to accompany Lu Chen fly higher. Note: Fly Higher lyrics / composer Wang Feng. Chapter 62. Many people had seen Lu Chen's live broadcast on Light Blue Music Carnival and heard In the Spring and Blue Lotus. They didn't find it strange that Lu Chen could sing such a passionate new song like Fly Higher, because Lu Chen had such strength and talent. But for the hundreds of thousands of viewers in Lu Fei's live broadcast room, it was as if they were witnessing a miracle. In this miracle, Lu Chen's gorgeous transformation. He no longer gently sang and narrated affectionately. He no longer brought everyone back to the school days that were worth remembering. Instead, he shouted and roared to his heart's content, unscrupulously expressing his desire and confidence to fly to the top. I want to fly higher, dance like the wind, break free from the embrace. This kind of Lu Chen, this kind of song, made everyone feel excited, moved, and even deeply trembled. The haters that once filled the live broadcast room were like snow that was illuminated by the blazing sun, silently disappearing. They tragically and pitifully became the negative background of the birth of a good song. They were bound to be mentioned for a very, very long time and become the object of ridicule and satire. System notification. Big Brother Whale, Gold 6, gifted the host 1 aircraft carrier. System notification. Shanghai Tall Rich Handsome, Silver 3, gifted the host 1 aircraft carrier. System notification. I Love Baby Girl, Gold Eye, gifted the host 1 aircraft carrier. System notification. Call Me Li Bai, Silver 7, gifted the host 1 aircraft carrier. System notification. Abyss Dragon Rider, Gold 7, gifted the host 1 aircraft carrier. Before the song finished, the live broadcast room was already filled with the aircraft carriers gifted by the local tycoons, one after another, in an endless stream. Fly higher, Lu Chen let out a long breath. The joy in his heart couldn't be described in words. He looked at the repeated gift notifications on the screen, and his face once again revealed a smile, a happy smile. After calming down his excited mood, Lu Chen sat back in his seat and adjusted the microphone and camera. This song, Fly Higher, was originally not in Lu Chen's graduation season repertoire. It was added temporarily because of the appearance of the haters, so there was no matching music video. But the effect was so good that it far surpassed the previous ballads. Thank you, Big Brother.
Thank you, Li Bai.
Thank you, Mr. Perfect. According to international practice, Lu Chen began to thank the local tycoon. Halfway through the PK live show, the total number of fish balls in Lu Fei's live room has reached an astonishing 100+. In addition to loyal fans such as Li Bai and Big Brother, there are also a lot of new tycoon fans. Of course, he had to win over these rich fans. He couldn't let them feel like they were being ignored after tipping them. As for the other fans, they could only thank them together. While thanking his fans, Lu Chen was also adjusting his mood and thinking about the next step of the live broadcast. Therefore, he could not help but be a little distracted as he read the list of rewards displayed by the system. Thank you, I Love My Baby Girl. Thank you, Abyss Dragon Riders. Thank you, Big Breasts Tangshan. Thank you, Chinger Baby Huh? This ID feels a bit familiar. Before Lu Chen could react, his live broadcast room had exploded. What the hell? Chinger Baby. Haraha, the first beautiful anchor of Whale TV, is here to check the room. What the F***, CK, is it true? I'm a fan of Lu Feida, and I'm also a fan of Beauty Ching. It's great to see the two in the same room. Wife, come and see the goddess. Our General Lu's fame is getting bigger and bigger. Even Chinger Baby has come. What day is it today? Countless barrage was brushed in an instant, making it difficult for Lu Chen not to notice it. He was stunned. Chinger Baby is the first female anchor of Whale TV. She has only joined Whale TV for a year, but she has become the most popular anchor in the live show, with more than 2 million fans. Chinger Baby also has the nickname Beauty Ching in Whale TV. Her fan group Mermaid Nights has as many as a dozen top QQ groups. There is no problem for her to beat Lu Jijun. And in tonight's PK theme show, she has always firmly occupied the first place on the hot list of the whole station. Lu Chen didn't expect that the first beautiful anchor would actually come to check his room. The so-called ward round was when a streamer went to another streamer's live broadcast room to interact. It was basically in the nature of support or friendship. It was a normal exchange between streamers. During Lu Chen's live broadcast at Whale TV, many anchors came to ask for fans, but those are basically small anchors without much popularity. A big anchor like Chinger Baby running over during the PK live broadcast really made him a little speechless. Moreover, she had even gifted him an aircraft carrier. Fortunately, Lu Chen's psychological quality is strong. He reacted in an instant and continued to read the list of thanks. System prompt: Anchor Chinger Baby has sent you a friendship request. Do you agree? Lu Chen thought about it and clicked agree. The other party obviously came with good intentions, and he noticed that his online popularity was increasing wildly. An anchor's ward check, especially a popular anchor's ward check, often brings a lot of popularity. So many anchors are happy to go around in order to exchange for a return visit from the other party to increase their popularity. There is no doubt about Chinger Baby's popularity. In just half a minute, the online popularity of Lu Fei's live broadcast room has risen from 650,000 plus to 900,000 plus. It is not a dream to break through 1 million. The next moment, the screen of the live broadcast room was automatically divided into left and right sides. The left screen was still Lu Chen's own, and the right screen showed a 20-year-old beauty in a dress. Chinger Baby. Lu Fei da hello. Chinger Baby waved at the camera generously and greeted Lu Chen politely. Among the 24 live broadcasters who participated in the PK live show in the evening, Chinger Baby was the calmest. She didn't care much about the final result. Winning the PK championship was nothing more than icing on the cake for her. Previously, when Chinger Baby was singing live, many haters ran to her live room to make trouble, saying that she only sold her face and coquettishness. In terms of talent and singing level, she was not worthy of carrying shoes for Lu Fei. For this kind of haters, Chinger Baby has seen too many of them. It is impossible for her to be taken away, and she will not take their words to heart. She will be killed without mercy. However, she also became a little interested in Lu Fei. Just now, when she saw a red tip floating by, she clicked on it. Well, the goddess is so capricious. She left millions of online fans and went to someone else's live broadcast room. Then, after listening to Lu Chen's half of Fly Higher, she willfully rewarded an aircraft carrier. As a result, the entire Whale TV was stirred up and countless fans ran in to watch the fun. It's really rare for a beautiful woman to reward someone while checking the room. Those haters knew that their provocation not only did not affect Lu Chen, but also brought him the support of a popular anchor. It is estimated that they will spit out 3 mouthfuls of blood on the spot. Your song is very good. Since the 2 live broadcast rooms have been successfully socialized, the pictures and sounds of both sides will appear simultaneously. It is equivalent to 2 people live broadcasting together. Lu Chen smiled and said, "Thank you, you are also very beautiful." The dialogue between the two immediately set off a huge wave in the live broadcast room, and countless fans heckled. A talented man and a beautiful woman, a match made in heaven. Together, 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 together. Lu Fei da, you sing a song for the beautiful woman. Yes, yes, sing a song, a love song. Sing a love song +1. Sing a love song +2. Sing a love song +3. A large number of barges were brushed out, all asking Lu Chen to sing for Chinger Baby. The crowd's voice was extremely high. Chinger Baby smiled and said, "Thank you for your support. I am looking forward to it." As she spoke, she deliberately blinked her eyes. Her beautiful eyes were sparkling, containing an indescribable charm. Whale TV's #1 female anchor is indeed worthy of her reputation. Lu Chen secretly praised and said, "Since everyone is so enthusiastic, I will be embarrassed if I don't sing." After a pause, he continued, "The following song will be given to Chinger Baby, which everyone likes. It is also an original folk song by myself. Its name is Beauty." Chapter 63. Beauty, so beautiful that people love you. I don't know where you come from. You exist for us. I ask you not to leave. Beauty, so beautiful that people love you. It was Meng, or who sent you, you exist for us, don't hurt my heart. The cheerful and enthusiastic prelude, full of exotic style, mixed with the atmosphere of Latin, West Asian nomads, and Bohemia, made all the people who heard this song for the first time feel their ears stand up. It was like tasting a glass of sweet wine, and the wonderful taste bloomed on the tongue. The unique melody, coupled with simple and straightforward lyrics, had a kind of charming charm. Lu Chen held the guitar and sang the song, Beauty, with a very relaxed manner and movements. He was like a bard in Azeroth, sending a love song to Kellyanne in the bar of the Skyline Hotel in Shadrath. This new song also fully revealed his profound attainments in playing the guitar. The combination and use of various complex fingering techniques appropriately displayed the style of the string rhythm, which was breathtaking. Beauty, the world changes too fast. Is your beauty still there? We'd better not linger. We'd better not wait foolishly. Beauty, the world changes too fast. Is your beauty still there? We'd better grasp the present. Ask you if you understand. In the video of the live broadcast, Chinger Baby held her cheek with her hand, and her beautiful big eyes did not blink. She listened to the song that she had never heard before very seriously. Her pretty face showed a happy and moved look, just like Kellyanne who was kissed, but with a little more embarrassment and shyness. Lu Chen sang very happily. This song was not originally in his song list. Like Fly Higher, it was temporarily taken out by him to fit the occasion. It was perfect to tease this beautiful woman. After the song Beauty was finished, a lot of barrage and fishballs were brushed on the screen again. It's so good. Beauty, so beautiful that people love you. I ask you not to leave. Lyrics. Why are there no lyrics? I want to learn to sing it to my girlfriend. It's very bohemian style. The anchor is so talented. I feel that other people's methods of picking up girls in the past were too low. They should all learn from Lu Fei. Together. 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 I like this song. More than Love in the Wind and Cinderella. Like +1, Chinger Baby clapped her hands and said with a smile, It's really nice. Thank you, Lu Fei. I hope I can hear such a good song again next time. Chinger is going back.
Goodbye.
To be the first female anchor of Whale TV, Chinger Baby is not just beautiful and can sing. She is a very smart girl who is good at seizing opportunities and acting appropriately. Although the interaction with Lu Chen was just a spur of the moment, it was undoubtedly very important to maintain and increase her popularity by creating some appropriate hot topics. However, she shrewdly controlled the pace and did not linger in Lu Chen's live broadcast room. Otherwise, the fans of the Mermaid Nights would be dissatisfied. Now was the right time to return. She wanted to make those flower protectors who threw money occasionally feel jealous, but not too jealous. The sense of propriety was not something that ordinary people could accurately grasp. Chinger Baby undoubtedly did an excellent job. Goodbye. Lu Chen put down his guitar and waved at the other party. Perhaps because they were all in the same industry, Lu Chen guessed the thoughts of Chinger Baby. But there was nothing bad about it because everyone got what they wanted. As for playing and singing Beauty and making this beauty fall in love with him, that was just thinking too much. So when Chinger Baby returned to her live broadcast room and dozens of reward prompts were synchronized on the screen, Lu Chen just smiled faintly. Lu Chen's attention is no longer on the other party because his popularity has just ushered in a new explosive growth. 916. Whale TV Lu Fei Live Broadcast Room. Online popularity 103,6210. This is the first time that Lu Chen's popularity has exceeded the 1 million mark since he started his live broadcast. Although he borrowed the east wind of Chinger Baby, it is undoubtedly a celebratory event for Lu Fei's live broadcast room. It must be known that 1 million popularity means that he has reached the level of a real first-line anchor, and he is not far from the top level. It has been less than a month since Lu Chen started broadcasting Whale TV. It is undoubtedly a miracle that he has broken through 1 million popularity so quickly. His follower count also soared, and the increase was so great that it was astounding. 723,625. 1 minute ago, The homepage's site-wide hot list was updated for the 5th time since the start of the PK live show. Lu Chen climbed from 11th place to 5th place, jumping 6 places in one breath. Of course, Lu Jiajun's fans did not ignore such huge progress and sent congratulatory messages one after another. Congratulations to the anchor for breaking through 1 million popularity. Haha, we are ranked 5th on the hot list. Long live Lu Feida, long live Lu Jiajun. Take the top 5, hit the top 3. We are the champion. Everyone hurry up. Those who have fishballs send fishballs. Those who don't have fishballs send a barrage. The more the better. Top 5 is definitely no problem. I'm so happy. The people of Beijing send a congratulatory message. The people of Chang and send a congratulatory message. The people of whose city send a congratulatory message. The people of Hong Kong send a congratulatory message. The people of Sheungnan, the live broadcast room was in full swing, and Lu Chen was, of course, very happy. Even if his popularity fell below 1 million with the departure of Chinger Baby, there were still countless viewers who stayed and continued to watch his live broadcast. This is already a huge victory. Thank you very much for your support. Then the following song is dedicated to our desk mates when we were students. You at the same table, I hope everyone likes it. After the ups and downs of the previous storm, Lu Chen's graduation season PK theme show is back on track. He sent his 7th song, You at the Same Table. This work is undoubtedly a model of campus folk songs. Although Lu Chen has sung it many times in the live broadcast, there are still many people who have not heard it. Whether it is people who have heard it or people who have heard it for the first time, they are all impressed by Lu Chen's talent. Love in the Wind, The Brother Who Slept on My Upper Bunk, Cinderella, The Bright Times of Youth, Fly Higher, Beauty, and now You at the Same Table, all of which are Lu Chen's original works. If he adds a few more songs, he can make a complete album, and the most admirable thing is that, except for Fly Higher, the style, melody, and lyrics of these songs are quite unified and coordinated, perfectly matching the theme of graduation season, showing a deep creative foundation. In Whale TV, there are many anchors who can play and sing. Some play very professionally, some sing very well, some are original, and some are more handsome than Lu Chen, but to be able to create so many excellent works, play and sing very well, and look handsome, there is really no one else. Even in the current entertainment industry, Lu Chen is also a first-class or even top talent. He just hasn't become famous yet. Among the nearly 1 million viewers in the live broadcast room, there are many people who understand music. They got to know Lu Chen here, heard his songs, and fell in love with his songs. Naturally, they became loyal fans. Tien, just like the waves washing the sand, gold will always shine brightly. When Lu Chen finished singing You at the Same Table and dedicated the last song of the night, Blue Lotus, the senior executives of Whale TV, who have been paying attention to the PK live show, couldn't sit still. Deep Sea City, High-Tech Park, B3 Building, 15th floor, Whale Technology Company Headquarters Conference Room. The wall facing south was filled with high-definition screens. All the screens were displaying images of different live broadcast rooms. There were exactly 24 of them. A huge projection screen hung on the east wall, showing the video of Lu Fei's live broadcast room. Nothing can stop your yearning for freedom, your unconstrained life. Your heart has no worries. Through the gloomy years, I once felt hesitant. Lu Chen's singing, through the high-fidelity sound arranged at the scene, was clearly transmitted to the ears of the company's senior executives, such as the general manager, deputy general manager, live broadcast director, and department manager, who were sitting in front of the conference table. They either looked at each other or whispered. Note: Beauty lyrics/composer, Gao Feng. Chapter 64. What do you think of this new anchor? Feng Xiaohui dropped the pen in his hand, and the shaft of the pen rolled half a meter away along the smooth table. The projection on the wall was fixed at the moment when Lu Chen put down the guitar after singing Blue Lotus. His eyes swept across the faces of all the company executives present, and the meaning was difficult to understand. Tonight's PK theme show is the biggest promotional activity of Whale TV in half a year. It was also set up by Feng Xiaohui, the general manager, with a total investment of more than 5 million yuan. Although the project and funds are not large, as a famous young general in the industry, Feng Xiaohui hopes to use this event to enhance the popularity and morale of Whale TV as a cushion before the revival of the past glory. So in the evening, all the executives gathered in the conference room to pay attention to the progress of the PK theme show. The performances of 24 anchors are about to end, and there will be someone who stands out. A senior executive hesitated for a moment and said, "This anchor, whose real name is Lu Chen, should be the biggest highlight. I think we should give him a better contract." In front of them, there is a detailed information about the participating anchors. Lu Chen is actually an ordinary signing plus 50,000 signing fee, which is obviously not in line with his current popularity. Feng Xiaohui nodded expressionlessly. Another high-ranking official said, "His songs are very good. Are they really original?" Immediately, the manager of the brokerage department explained, "They are really original." I didn't believe it at first. The 30-year-old white-collar woman praised Lu Chen. "We have checked in the Greater China Music Library. All the song copyrights are under his name. He is a very talented young man. I also think that we should give him a contract and promote him to a larger market." After Feng Xiaohui took charge of Whale TV, he intended to spread the platform's anchor resources to a larger field and set up a corresponding entertainment company. The main responsibility of the brokerage department is to find out new stars worth cultivating. The big entertainment industry is the real big cake, and of course, the competition is the most fierce. Whale TV does not have the intention to fight with people immediately, but to make reasonable use of its own resources and earn more and greater benefits is undoubtedly the company's strategic goal in the future. Their biggest competitor, Starlight Show, was already doing the same thing, and it was doing very well. A smile appeared on Feng Xiaohui's face. The brokerage manager keenly noticed the change in his expression and continued, "We can customize projects for him, buy all his creative copyrights, produce an album of works, and package him as a gifted idol." Manager Wang, "Please wait." She talked endlessly about her plan. Just as she was beaming with joy and excitement, a voice suddenly came from the side and abruptly interrupted her. Manager Wang was as unhappy as she could be, but the one who interrupted her was Wu Hongming, the head of the operations department, so she could only suppress her displeasure and force a smile. "Manager Wu, what do you think?" Wu Hongming was one of the founders of Whale TV and a senior figure in Whale technology. Although Manager Wang was Feng Xiaohui's confidant, she could not ignore Wu Hongming's opinion. Wu Hongming asked in a deep voice, "How much are you going to pay for his creative copyrights?" Manager Wang was stunned. She didn't expect Wu Hongming to ask this question. She thought about it and replied, "My idea is to follow the example of an artist's contract and sign a 5-year contract. I will give him an annual salary of 300,000 yuan plus a 10% bonus. The contract must include all creative copyrights." In the view of the brokerage manager, this contract is undoubtedly very generous. For a young man like Lu Chen, wouldn't he be happy to get the opportunity to promote and package him into the entertainment industry? I don't know how many newcomers are eager to embark on the road to becoming a star. An annual salary of 300,000 plus a 10% bonus, she felt that it was a little too generous. Wu Hongming didn't comment. He pointed to the projection screen and said, "The song Lu Chen just sang is called Blue Lotus. As far as I know, he has sold the copyright of this song to Light Rain Media Company in Beijing. The price is 200,000. Impossible. Manager Wang was the first to shout. She stared and said, "This is the price of a top famous artist." Among the executives present, there were people who knew the market and were also very surprised. Really? 200,000 yuan for a song is definitely a high price among famous artists. Without being verified by the market, a newcomer can sell his work for 200,000 yuan. It sounds like a fantasy novel. Wu Hongming said lightly, "Nothing is impossible. I have already inquired about it from my friends in the Beijing circle. Many people know about this. There have been agencies that wanted to sign him, but he refused. So, I suggest that we give up the copyright requirements. Don't expect to sign an ordinary artist contract with him. Let's talk about it according to the top anchor contract. Manager Wang was not convinced. Manager Wu, how can you be sure that he won't sign it? Wu Hongming sighed and said, then you can talk to Lu Chen. This young man is actually very assertive and thoughtful. I don't think it's possible to move him unless we give him a top artist contract. Wu Hongming's understanding of Lu Chen comes mostly from his niece, Wu Shanshan. The latter has a very close relationship with Lu Chen and usually maintains a very high level of attention. As the head of the operations department, it is impossible for him to ignore the new anchor who is rapidly becoming popular on Whale TV. And Lu Chen's live broadcast on the PK theme show tonight has deepened his inherent impression. Top artist contract? The executives all looked at each other. How is that possible? Manager Wang couldn't help but want to refute again. Feng Xiaohui asked first, then let Manager Wang talk to him about the artist contract first. If he can't talk about the new contract, how about it? Wu Hongming replied calmly, I have no objection, but don't forget that we have a lot of competitors. Feng Xiaohui's breath suddenly stagnated. In the past 2 years, Whale TV had been badly poached by others, especially Starry Live. They had poached their members to the point where Whale TV had suffered greatly. There were also many new broadcasting platforms eyeing them covetously to take advantage of them. The PK theme show can certainly enhance the popularity of the website, but it will also attract covetous eyes. A newcomer like Lu Chen, who only signed an ordinary contract, is simply the best target for poaching. If Whale TV is still hesitant at this time, maybe they will lose a new star. Feng Xiaohui didn't take Lu Chen very seriously. He just wanted to set up a model for his own project. Now that he heard Wu Hongming's words, he finally got serious. Then when the event is over, talk to him about the new contract. The general manager hesitated and said, Manager Wu, you talk to him about the new anchor contract. At the critical moment, he still chose Wu Hongming. The vision and character of this old minister are trustworthy. Wu Hongming nodded and said, I will take people to the capital tomorrow morning and talk to him face to face. The executives present were all surprised. They never thought that Wu Hongming would attach so much importance to Lu Chen. The last time Wu Hongming personally met with an anchor to talk about the contract was last year. At that time, he signed the current #1 female anchor of Whale TV, Qing'er Baby. And he went so far away from the capital. A senior official couldn't help but say, then he should have been given a better contract. A better contract has a longer time limit and a higher binding force. But for this kind of low-level hindsight, Wu Hongming simply despised it. This contract of 50,000 signing fee was almost beaten back by the finance department. Whale TV has a lot of venture capital, and the finance department has great authority in fund management. The other party was suddenly speechless. Old Wang, the manager of the finance department, twitched his face and decided to be a dead dog. Wu Hongming slapped him in the face and asked, how much authority did the company give me to negotiate this time? If it's less than 500,000 signing fee, then don't talk about it. Whoever wants to talk can go. He glanced at the manager of the brokerage department, intentionally or unintentionally. The eloquent young woman didn't say anything. If Wu Hongming had said at the beginning that he would give Lu Chen at least 500,000 signing fee, it was estimated that no one would have agreed. Now that she understands the situation and knows that Lu Chen sold a song for 200,000 yuan, the 500,000 signing fee is really nothing. She even regrets in her heart. If she could sign Lu Chen with an ordinary artist contract, her brokerage department would have a trump card. A real trump card. Chapter 65. At 9:45, Whale TV, Lu Fei's live broadcast room. Online popularity, 936224. Lu Chen's live broadcast is still going on, but the time for the PK theme show is over. What he has to do now is to wait for the final ranking with nearly 1 million online viewers in the live broadcast room. It's a suffocating wait. I'm suddenly so nervous, as if I'm waiting for my final report card. Report card +1. All of you tell me, where can our master Lu Fei be ranked? Lu Fei is, of course, #1. Is there a need to ask? Of course, it's impossible to be first. As long as he rushes to the top 5, he will win. I guess it should be 5th or 4th. If he's not in the top 5, I'll eat my keyboard live. I guess 3rd. The contents of the barrage in the live broadcast room have all turned into speculation about the ranking, all kinds of predictions, bets, and ridicule. On the contrary, Lu Chun completely relaxed. In the 90-minute live show, he sang a total of 8 original works and did his best. Although there were twists and turns in the middle, he should have interpreted the theme of graduation season very well. I believe that this should be able to win the praise of the media judges. As for other indexes, Lu Chun has also broken through his previous peak, especially the interaction with Chinger Baby, which has brought him a lot of popularity. If he can't get into the top 5, then Whale TV is shady. He calmly thanked the local tycoons and fans who rewarded him so that his throat was a little dry. In fact, even if he didn't get into the top 5, Lu Chun's harvest in the evening was great. In addition to the surge in popularity and followers, the new fishball reward reached 170T+, which can be withdrawn for 110,000 yuan. He earned 110,000 yuan in an hour and a half of live broadcast. What else is Lu Chun not satisfied with? In the past, he might not even be able to save enough money for 2 years if he worked double jobs. He understands the principle of contentment, and his mentality is naturally calm. At this time, an eye-catching system prompt appeared on the screen. System prompt. The ranking of the PK-themed show anchor has been determined, and the top 5 winners will be announced. There was a sudden burst of cheers in the live broadcast room. It's out. The top 5 are finally out. I've been waiting for this moment for the whole night. Lu Fei-da will definitely win. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. That's for sure. Our anchor will definitely be in the top 5. If I don't get into the top 5, I'll eat my keyboard live. Wait for me, the one eating keyboard in front. I'll eat the mouse. Although Lu Chun was very relaxed, he could not help but be affected by the atmosphere in the live broadcast room. He couldn't help but straighten his back. The next moment, a big 5 appeared on the screen. It shone with a golden light, and it was so bright that it could blind a dog's eyes. System notification. Congratulations, streamer Lady Rain. The theme, Rainy Day, is ranked number 5, PK Index 5575. Number 5 is Yu Gij, the popular female anchor of Whale TV live show. Everyone's hearts were in their throats because the appearance of a streamer meant the disappearance of a ranking. No one knew if Lu Chun would appear in the system notification. And the higher the ranking, the smaller the hope. Number 4, Anchor Sun, the theme, Afternoon Sunshine, PK Index 6210. Sun is also a frontline anchor of live show. His live broadcast style is actually very similar to Lu Chun. He is very handsome, can play the guitar, piano, violin, and dances very well. He often runs to the square to fight with others. In this PK theme show, Sun is undoubtedly Lu Chun's most powerful opponent. Although the two are not fighting one-on-one, Sun is ranked 4th, which brings a lot of pressure to Lu Chun. Because there are only 3 places left. Lu Fei's live broadcast room was silent, and there were only a few comments on the screen. Number 3, Anchor Xiaogu, the theme, Thunder Fury, PK Index 9750. Xiaogu is a game anchor. He is also ranked in the top 10 strategic experts in the popular online game, Planet Overlord. His competitive live broadcast can attract the support of millions of fans, and his popularity has always been very strong. Xiaogu took the 3rd place, leaving only the champion and the runner-up. It is certain that the champion basically belongs to Chinger Baby, the first female anchor of Whale TV. Seeing that the 3rd place is still not Lu Chun, there was finally a pessimistic voice in the live broadcast room. It's over, Xiaogu is 3rd. I'm afraid our anchor. That's really dangerous. It's okay. Even if we can't get the top 5, we have all worked hard together. Don't be so pessimistic. Maybe it's 2nd place? Come on, Lu Fei-da, come on. No matter what, I support the anchor big. Support +1? Lu Chun thought about it and said into the microphone, No matter what the result is, I want to thank everyone for their support. As soon as his voice fell, a big golden 2 appeared on the screen. The runner-up appeared. System notification. Congratulations to anchor Lu Fei. The theme graduation season is ranked number 2, PK index 9790. Second place? Second place? Lu Fei. Many people couldn't believe their eyes. Yes, Lu Chun reacted the fastest. He immediately clenched his fists and waved them hard. At the same time, he roared loudly. A great joy drowned him in an instant. Lu Chun thought that he could face victory or failure calmly, but when the runner-up position of the PK theme show fell on his head, he still felt extremely excited and excited. A week of hard work and preparation was not in vain. And what was very rare was that he defeated Xiaogu by a small margin of 40 points. The reward for the champion of the PK theme show is 300,000, and the popular anchor on the homepage will be pushed 3 times. The reward for the runner-up is 200,000 plus 2 big push. The third place is 100,000 plus 1 big push. The fourth and fifth place are both 50,000 bonuses. A 40-point win means that Lu Chun got a double reward. The live broadcast room suddenly exploded. Hooray! Haha, I'm so happy. The victory belongs to our Lu Fei. Congratulations to Lu Fei for being the runner-up. Second place, I said top 3 and I was right. I guess second place. I really didn't expect that he really won the top 3. It's not easy. In fact, this is very normal. Our anchor has such strength. Strength +1. It's so cool. Lu Jiejun sent a red envelope in the group. Everyone, go and grab it. What's the group number? 10,000-ton copper ball. Although it was not the highest championship for Lu Chun's hundreds of thousands of fans, the weight of this runner-up is not much different from that of the championship, and it is worth celebrating. It must be known that before the start of the PK theme show, all of Lu Chun's data was the lowest among the 24 anchors. In the live broadcast, he struggled to catch up and climbed higher and higher. He was also attacked by the black tide of haters, but he still had the last laugh. Lu Chun's efforts and talent were seen and heard by everyone. He won the runner-up title and deserved it. As for the champion's crown, it was taken by Chinger Baby without any suspense. PK index, 15,200. But the audience in Lu Fei's live broadcast room did not care about the championship. They were all celebrating Lu Chun with barrage and fish balls as much as they could, as if celebrating their own victory. Today was Victory Day. Lu Jiejun's supergroup also exploded because the Tycoon Li Bai was giving out red envelopes. The mood of Lu Chun's #1 Tycoon fan was more cheerful than that of Lu Chun. Lu Chun won the runner-up in the PK, and he also won the bet with Earthies. He had both face and substance, and his life was perfect from then on. Thousands of red envelopes were given out. The Tycoon was so capricious. And taking advantage of this opportunity, Li Bai bought 10 more supergroups in one breath and posted them in the live broadcast room, attracting countless fans to join the group to grab the victory red envelopes. Although these audiences were not loyal at the moment, there would eventually be a group of fans who were willing to stay and continue to support Lu Chun's broadcasting career. Lu Chun picked up the guitar again and thanked all his fans with a song, Thank You. This was his victory day, and he believed that tomorrow would be even better. At 10 p.m., Lu Chun ended the live broadcast. At this time, he received a phone call, and the number showed that it was from Shanghai City. When Lu Chun saw the area code displayed on the screen of his mobile phone, the first thought that came to his mind was, the person who sent money came. Chapter 66. Shanghai City, CBD Central Business District, 68th floor of Fortune Building. Starlight Show headquarters. At 10 o'clock in the evening, it was still brightly lit. The special nature of the live platform requires employees to often work night shifts. Zhang Guangjie half leaned on the big office chair and stared at the 32-inch big screen in front of him with gloomy eyes. There seemed to be a huge storm forming in his eyes, which would erupt with terrible power at any time. This 40-year-old middle-aged man was thin and tall, with an ordinary appearance. He belonged to the kind of passerby who couldn't be found in the crowd. But more than 200 employees of Starry Live Media Company have a deep memory of his image. Because Zhang Guangjie is the CEO of Starry Live Media Company. He is strong with an iron fist and works swiftly and decisively. If any employee is careless and caught by him, then the end is often very miserable. Since he took charge of Starry Live Media Company, the number of employees he has personally fired has reached double digits. And at this moment, the CEO's face was covered with a dark cloud, indicating that his anger has accumulated to a high level. Just waiting for the victim to appear. Ring ring, the phone beside the computer suddenly rang, and the red light flashed, indicating that the call request came from the internal line. Zhang Guangjie reached out and pressed the answer button. The secretary's gentle and sweet voice sounded on the phone. President Zhang, Manager Zhao is here. Zhang Guangjie said, "Let him in." After that, he cut off the call. After a while, a man with a thin face, small eyes, and a hooked nose pushed open the office door and came in. When he saw Zhang Guangjie, he immediately asked respectfully, "President Zhang, are you looking for me?" Zhang Guangjie nodded expressionlessly. "Sit down." The thin-faced man subconsciously swallowed his saliva and carefully sat down opposite Zhang Guangjie. Zhao Depeng is the manager of Starry Live Media's Operation Management Department. He is an authoritative figure in the Operations Management Department. But in the face of Zhang Guangjie, he is no different from ordinary employees. He is a mouse and Zhang Guangjie is a cat. Everything has its vanquisher. Zhao Depeng knows very well that as long as Zhang Guangjie says a word, he can roll down from the throne of the Operations Management Manager. After sitting down, Zhang Guangjie didn't speak and stared at Zhao Depeng until the latter's forehead was sweating. Zhang Guangjie suddenly asked, "Manager Zhao, how long have you been in Starry Live Media?" Zhao Depeng quickly replied, 2 years, almost 2 years. Starlight Show has not been established for a long time, so Zhao Depeng is also an old employee. Almost 2 years, Zhang Guangjie sighed and said, "I remember that you came from Whale TV. For the past 2 years, you have helped the company unearth quite a number of talents. For Starry Live to be able to develop to its current scale, you have contributed a lot." Zhao Depeng had the urge to burst into tears. He thought he had made a big mistake. Now listening to Zhang Guangjie's tone, it seemed that he wanted to promote him. He could not help but relax, secretly laughing at his own suspicions. However, in the next moment, Zhao Depeng's mood instantly fell into hell. However, many employees have responded that you act arbitrarily in your work and do not tolerate the opinions of others. Recently, the company has also received complaints from several anchors, accusing them of being treated unfairly by the operations management. Zhang Guangjie looked at Zhao Depeng mockingly and asked, "Manager Zhao, what's your explanation for this?" The sweat on Zhao Depeng's forehead came out again and he argued, "Mr. Zhang, let's not talk about that." As soon as he wanted to explain a few words, he was rudely interrupted by Zhang Guangjie. "Explain first. What's going on?" The CEO of Starry Live Media reached out and turned the display in front of him 180 degrees and showed it to Zhao Depeng. Zhao Depeng's face turned red in an instant. What was displayed on the screen was the forum of Whale TV. Zhao Depeng was very familiar with it because he was a senior executive of Whale TV 2 years ago. But this was not the reason why his face was flushed, but the content of the post opened in the forum. This post was pinned high in the Lu Jiajun fish section. Its content included a picture and hundreds of words of complaint, saying that the anchor Lu Fei was suppressed by super administrator in Starlight Show and was forced to sign an overbearing contract. Finally, his account was blocked and there was no way to complain. The Super Administrator 002 in the screenshot is not Zhao Depeng. Super Administrator 001 is Zhang Guangjie. Zhao Depeng almost spat out a mouthful of old blood on the spot. He had long forgotten about this matter because he had encountered more than 1 or 2 small anchors who did not know how to appreciate favors, and he had never seen anyone who could set off any storm at all. If he wanted to suppress, then he would suppress. If he wanted to ban, then he would ban. Those who obey me will prosper, and those who oppose me will perish. The anchors under Starlight Show, except for a few top gods, are they not at his mercy? But Zhao Depeng now knows that even among the newcomers, there are crouching tigers and hidden dragons. This pinned post was like a heavy slap to his face. It didn't matter if he didn't know before, but now he was exposed by Zhang Guangjie. Where could he put his face? Zhang Guangjie said lightly, I don't interfere in the affairs of the operations management department because I trust manager Zhao. This anchor named Lu Fei signed a contract with Whale TV after our Starlight Show account was banned. In less than a month, Lu Fei's highest popularity in Whale TV has exceeded 1 million, and he won the runner-up in the just-ended PK theme show. His current audience is more than 750,000. The people in the brokerage department have seen his live performance and evaluated him as a talented newcomer. What do you think of this, Manager Zhao? Zhao Depeng finally understood why Zhang Guangjie called him to the office alone. What employees accused the anchor and complained were trivial matters. What really killed him was that he missed a promising newcomer. At present, Starlight Show is spending a lot of money to dig up talents everywhere. His mistake is simply unforgivable. And there is no way to quibble. It is clear in the post. There are pictures and the truth. Zhao Depeng's mouth was full of bitterness, and he couldn't find a suitable reason to defend himself. Moreover, Zhang Guangjie is a ruthless character who doesn't rub sand in his eyes. Denying it will only make the CEO more disgusted. He bowed his head and said painfully, President Zhang, this is all my fault. I will find a way to make up for it. Zhang Guangjie sighed. His right index finger tapped the table gently, as if he was thinking. Zhao Depeng was like a prisoner waiting to be sentenced, frightened and fearful. After a long time, Zhang Guangjie asked, How are you going to make up for it? Zhao Depeng was suddenly refreshed, like a drowning man who found a life-saving straw. He quickly said, There should be information about this anchor in the server. I will contact him right away and give him a high-paying contract. Isn't the brokerage department optimistic about him? Then give him another artist contract. I don't believe we can't poach him. When it comes to poaching people, Zhao Depeng is simply possessed by a god. All his confidence returned to him in an instant. Zhao Depeng came from Whale TV. After jumping to Starlight Show, he poached more than a dozen anchors from Whale TV. In terms of poaching people, he is really not afraid of anyone. Zhang Guangjie nodded and said, I have already asked someone to understand. Lu Fei is still signing an ordinary contract. His signing fee is 50,000 yuan, but Whale TV will definitely re-sign a new contract with him. You don't have much time. Zhao Depeng knew that Zhang Guangjie said that he would not interfere in the affairs of the operations management department. In fact, the CEO has a strong control over the company, and he also has a lot of insiders in his hands, so he is very well informed. That's great. He immediately stood up and said, I will contact Lu Fei right away and talk to him face-to-face tomorrow. Zhang Guangjie said, He should be in Beijing. You should go and come back quickly. The company will also hold a similar event recently. Zhao Depeng knew that he had finally broken through this hurdle. He quickly said, I will ask someone to book a ticket immediately. Zhang Guangjie nodded again and said, Old Zhao, I have given you the opportunity. If this matter is still messed up, then I have no reason to help you suppress the opposition within the company. Do you understand? Zhao Depeng listened with a chill in his heart. He suddenly felt that the temperature of the office's air conditioning was too low. Chapter 67. Habit is a terrible thing. Last night, Lu Qin slept very late, so today he wanted to sleep in comfortably as a reward for himself. However, the long-term accumulated habit made him wake up on time. After opening his eyes, he was no longer sleepy. Although Lu Qin told himself that after working hard for so long and earning a lot of money, it wasn't a sin to rest for half a day. However, the heavy debt at home, the expectations for the future, the ambition hidden in his heart, it was like a powerful whip constantly whipping Lu Qin. It told him that he didn't have the right to be lazy. Lu Chen got up, brushed his teeth, washed his face, changed into sportswear, and ran out of the house. After running to the small park by the river, he saw the old man who practiced Tai Chi. "Grandpa, you're early today." Lu Chen politely greeted him and secretly felt ashamed. The white-haired old man could persist in morning exercise, but he actually wanted to be lazy. His willpower was really not strong enough. The old man snorted and glanced at Lu Chen indifferently. Lu Chen touched his nose speechlessly. There should be a lot of dust on it. This grandpa still remembers things. He no longer asked for a snub and ran to the old place to start practicing Tai Chi. The Beijing Third Ring Road area was densely populated, and there were many communities around it. There were many people exercising in the small park every day. Because of his boxing, Lu Chen had been surrounded by people several times before. He felt like he was a monkey performing, so now he was used to hiding in a corner. He had liked this kind of exercise, and the improvement of his physical fitness was also obvious. A strong physique is really important. The memory from Mo Ran tells Lu Chen that a real actor must have a healthy body. When it comes to acting, even in the coldest weather, if it's time to jump into the river, you must jump. Although in the short term, Lu Chen wouldn't develop into an acting career, a strong physique couldn't be trained in a day or two. His efforts now laid the foundation for future success. After a round of Tai Chi, Lu Chen was sweating all over, but he was very happy. "Little guy, you practice Wing Chun, right?" At this moment, the voice of the old man came from the side. Lu Chen turned around in surprise and said, "Sir, you really have a discerning eye. I just practice blindly." The old man who suddenly appeared said disdainfully, "You're quite blind. I used my phone to take a video and showed it to a real expert. He said that your practice was not authentic and that you didn't even master the routine well." Cough, cough. Just a moment ago, Lu Chen had said that he had a discerning eye, but in the end, he had exposed himself. In order to understand Lu Chen's fist technique, he actually filmed it secretly. Lu Chen held back his laughter as he nodded and said, "That expert is right." It was like he was coaxing a child. It was true that Lu Chen practiced Wing Chun, but his boxing style had been improved to be more suitable for men to practice. In his dream world, there were many martial artists and even superstars in the film and television industry who were proficient in this set of fist techniques. In order to meet the needs of the film and television series, they had incorporated the essence of many other fighting techniques. Therefore, it was quite different from the traditional routine. But he couldn't explain this to the other party, especially to this stubborn old man. The old man snorted twice and said, "It's good that you know. I'm leaving." He was a little embarrassed, but Lu Chen's attitude was impeccable. He had no choice but to run away. Lu Chen smiled and didn't take it to heart. He returned home and continued to work. Just after 2:00 in the afternoon, Lu Chen arrived on time at the Fury Hotel on the Second Ring Road. This five-star hotel was quite famous in the capital. In the cafe on the second floor of the hotel, he saw two guests from Shanghai City. They were a middle-aged man and a young man with glasses. "I'm really sorry to have kept you waiting." Lu Chen quickly apologized and took the initiative to reach out to the middle-aged man who had just got up. "I'm Lu Fei." The middle-aged man shook his hand and said with a smile, "It doesn't matter. We just arrived here. Let me introduce myself. I'm Zhao Depeng, Operations Management Manager of Starlight Show. This is my assistant, Little Zhao." Lu Chen said with a smile, "Hello, Manager Zhao." The three of them sat down, and the waiter came over to inquire. Lu Chen ordered a cup of coffee. Zhao Depeng said straightforwardly, "Mr. Lu Fei, you are a young man with great creative talent, and our Starry Live Media needs talents like you. I wonder if you would like to join our company?" As for the conditions of treatment, he said in a confident and reserved tone, "It's far better than Whale TV. You will definitely be satisfied." Last night, Zhao Depeng asked his assistant to contact Lu Chen and rushed to the capital on this morning's flight. When he got off the plane, he rushed to the Fury Hotel in order to win the contract with Lu Chen. This contract is related to whether he can continue to mix in the company, so he has applied for a high level of authority. Zhao Depeng didn't believe that the contract he took out would not impress Lu Chen. Perhaps it was because of this confidence that his words naturally carried a hint of arrogance and bossiness. He's used to it. Zhao Depeng didn't feel it himself, but Lu Chen heard it clearly. He put down his coffee cup, showed a very interested look, and asked, "Can you introduce it to me, Manager Zhao?" Sure enough, he's a newcomer. When Zhao Depeng saw Lu Chen's expression, he immediately felt relieved. According to past experience, as long as the anchor is moved by him, no one can escape from his hands. The operations management manager took the briefcase from the assistant, took out a contract, and handed it to Lu Chen. "Mr. Lu Fei, this contract is tailor-made for you." Lu Chen took the contract and looked at it carefully. The contract given to him by Starry Live Media seems to be very good on the surface. First of all, there is a signing bonus of 500,000 plus 300,000 for breach of contract. The latter is based on the terms of the contract signed by Lu Chen with Shark TV. If Lu Chen wants to jump from Shark TV to Starlight Show, then the liquidated damages cannot be less. Starry Live Media has already prepared it for him. The basic annual salary is 300,000 plus 10% bonus. At the same time, Starry Live Media also provides him with millions of packaging and promotion, spanning the live broadcasting platform and the entertainment industry. If it were someone else, I am afraid that they would be excited to see such a clause. Who doesn't want to run into the star-studded entertainment industry with fame and fortune? But Lu Chen did not ignore the trap lurking under the bright and attractive surface of this contract. That is the copyright. As long as Lu Chen signs this contract, the copyright of all his works will belong to Starry Live Media. In essence, it is the same as the new artist contract given to him by Light Rain Media. The term of the contract is also 10 years, and Starry Live Media has the right to terminate the contract at any time. Under the gaze of Zhao Depeng's expectant eyes, Lu Chen put down the contract and asked, "Manager Zhao, I heard that you are used to preparing 2 contracts when you poach people. Can I see the other one?" "What?" Zhao Depeng couldn't help but be surprised and asked, "How do you know?" This is a little trick that Zhao Depeng often uses when poaching people. When negotiating, he first gives a bad contract. If he can sign it, it is naturally the best. If he really can't reach an agreement, then he will come up with a new contract to make the final decision. Zhao Depeng didn't expect that Lu Chen actually knew his habitual means. In fact, Lu Chen knows more than Zhao Depeng thought. He grinned and said, "Manager Zhao, if I'm not mistaken, you are Super Administrator 002, right?" A rush of blood rushed to Zhao Depeng's head in an instant, and his face suddenly turned red. The biggest hidden danger in his poaching of Lu Chen was that he once blocked Lu Chen's account as a super administrator. Lu Chen has put the denunciation post in the forum, so he must have taken it to heart. Zhao Depeng originally believed that a generous contract could make Lu Chen forget this discord, who would be angry with money. However, now he suddenly found that all his thoughts were seen clearly by Lu Chen. Zhao Depeng had a bad feeling and subconsciously asked, "Who told you that?" Lu Chen still had a smile on his face, pointed to the door of the coffee shop and said, "You want to look for him?" Zhao Depeng couldn't help but look back and was immediately dumbfounded. Chapter 68. There are 3 people who just appeared at the door of the coffee shop. Walking in the front is a tall, middle-aged man, about 40 years old, wearing a suit. Behind him was a woman in a white dress and a skinny man in glasses. Zhao Depeng knows this tall man, and he is very familiar with him. Wu Hongming, the operations director of Whale TV. Zhao Depeng and Wu Hongming are not only former colleagues, but also old friends who have known each other for many years. But the friendship of the past has long since disappeared. Now it is not an exaggeration to say that the 2 sides are enemies. Seeing Wu Hongming, Zhao Depeng immediately understood. He was fooled by Lu Chen. Lu Chen didn't have the idea of signing a contract with Starry Live Media at all. He knew that Zhao Depeng was Super Administrator 002. Zhao Depeng suddenly turned his head and was not surprised to see a mocking smile on Lu Chen's face. "That's undisguised sarcasm. The face of the Starry Live Media Operations Management Manager turned purple, and a stuffy breath was held in his chest. His head was a little dizzy, and he forced himself not to make a fool of himself on the spot. He really lost a lot of face today. Zhao Depeng thought that it would be easy to deal with a newcomer in his early 20s by himself. He didn't expect that the other party would play with him and take revenge for the previous discord. He flew more than 2,000 kilometers to Beijing, which was like sending his face to the door. What makes people's hair stand on end is that Lu Chen was talking to him seriously about the contract just now. His acting skills are so superb that he can mix in the film and television circle. It's not as simple as revenge. Zhao Depeng quickly realized. Lu Chen is using him, or more accurately, using Starry Live Media as a bargaining chip to negotiate a new contract with Whale TV. Otherwise, why would Wu Hongming appear so coincidentally? Zhao Depeng wanted to swear, but countless words were blocked in his throat, and finally, he spat out only one word. Because he sadly found that he couldn't do anything to Lu Chen at all. Now Lu Chen is not the little anchor in the Starlight show that he could need. Since manager Zhao is unwilling, then forget it. Lu Chen stood up with a smile. He took out his wallet from his pocket, took out a 50 yuan bill, and put it under his coffee cup. He said, "I hope there will be opportunities for cooperation in the future."
Goodbye.
Lu Chen nodded at the dumbfounded assistant and left. At this moment, Zhao Depeng's heart felt as if 10,000 horses were galloping. He stared at Lu Chen's back. If looks could kill, then Lu Chen would already be riddled with holes. The assistant asked timidly, "Manager Zhao, then now we go back." Zhao Depeng struggled to stand up and said weakly, "Let's return to the deep sea immediately." He would only be humiliating himself if he continued to stay here. He really didn't want Wu Hongming to see him in such a sorry state. The assistant wanted to say that the return ticket had not been booked, but Zhao Depeng was like this. If he poured salt into the other party's wound, he would be waiting to be fired. Just as the two of them left the tea house, a polite but vigilant reminder came from behind them. "Sir, you forgot to pay the bill." The waiter's voice was not loud, but it was particularly clear in the quiet coffee shop. Many guests nearby turned their heads and looked over after hearing it. Most of their eyes were curious or contemptuous. Zhao Depeng's old face, which had just faded a little, was instantly heavily painted with a new layer. He noticed that Wu Hongming, who was talking to Lu Chen not far away, also looked at him. The Starry Live Media Operations Management Manager almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. If he had known that this would be the result, he would not have come to the capital. Not to mention that he was humiliated in vain. The most important task was not completed, and there was no way to explain it to Zhang Guangjie when he went back. He could completely foresee his bleak and desperate future in the company. "Zhao Depeng." Wu Hongming glanced at his old rival, snorted softly, and said, "He really has a face." It was he who told Lu Chen that Zhao Depeng was Starlight Show Super Administrator 002. After the Whale TV executive meeting last night, he personally called Lu Chen to discuss the contract. As a result, he learned from Lu Chen that Starry Live Media would also send people to the capital. Based on his understanding of Zhao Depeng, Wu Hongming revealed this secret to Lu Chen, which was not a secret. Because he knew very well that Starry Live Media's poaching must be the operations management manager. The result was as expected. At the same time, Wu Hongming also admired Lu Chen a little. The latter obviously played with Zhao Depeng and at the same time used Starry Live Media's people to implicitly remind himself that the price of the new contract cannot be bad. In business, he didn't think there was anything wrong with Lu Chen's approach, and he was prepared for it. Lu Chen said with a smile, "Let's sit down and talk." Whale TV sent Wu Hongming and Wu Shanshan to talk to him about the new contract. The former was the first time he met, and the latter was often talked about in QQ. Of course, it was the first time he met them in person. As for the third person who accompanied him, the thin and tall man with glasses, his identity was actually the editor of Yunjing Music Network. The other party's name was Suiyan, and his ID name was Suiyuan. Of course, Lu Qin knows Yunjing Music Network, which is one of the top music websites in China. The appearance of this editor, Sui, made him have some subtle associations. As for the truth, it has to be slowly and carefully understood. The four found a place to sit down. After ordering coffee and tea, they quickly got to the point. What Wu Hongming brought to Lu Qin was an electronic contract. The advantage of electronic contracts is that they are very convenient to modify, and it is also very simple to print them into a formal contract after they are finalized. The sincerity of Whale TV is undoubtedly shown in this electronic contract. The new contract they gave to Lu Qin is 50 plus 50 plus 70% plus 30%, 500,000 signing fee plus 500,000 annual salary plus 70% reward share and 30% value-added benefit share. The contract period is 3 years, and Whale TV has the right to terminate the contract in advance and have the priority to renew the contract. The most important thing is that Whale TV does not require possession of his original copyright as long as there is reasonable authorization. On Wu Shanshan's laptop, Lu Qin looked at the electronic contract carefully. He did not find any clause traps or ambiguities in it. The rights and obligations of both parties are clear. There is no doubt that his heart is very satisfied, but the conditions that should be mentioned still have to be mentioned. Manager Wu, Lu Qin said bluntly to Wu Hongming, I just said 2 points. The first point is that the signing fee of 500,000 is too little. The second point is that the 3-year contract period is too long. I hope it can be changed to 2 years. I have no other opinions. The signing fee of 500,000 is amazing for a new anchor, but according to Lu Qin's current popularity, it is really not much. The first female anchor of Whale TV, Chinger Baby, is said to have a signing fee of 5 million. Of course, due to the need for publicity, the 5 million signing fee may be exaggerated, but even if it is discounted, 2 or 3 million is definitely a lot. In contrast, the 500,000 signing fee given to Lu Qin is undoubtedly not enough. Wu Hongming pondered for a moment and said, Lu Qin, these 2 conditions of yours can be discussed, but please let me think about it. How about you talk to editor Sui first? Of course, Lu Qin has no objection. He is actually very curious about the purpose of the editor of Yunjing Music Network. The purpose of Sui's visit is very simple. The editor hopes that Lu Qin can organize his original works into a complete music album and then put it on Yunjing Music Network for promotion and paid download. The founder of Campus Folk Songs, Sui's eyes flashed with excitement. He said, I have listened to all the original works you played and sang on the PK theme show several times. Except for Fly Higher and Blue Lotus, the style of the other songs is too suitable to be recorded as a folk album. It has unique selling points. I believe the sales will be good. Lu Qin was really moved. Making an album is the dream of countless singers. Even if it is an online album, it is a good thing for many people to be able to advertise and sell on a big music website platform such as Yunjing Music Network. Lu Qin has a lot of songs from his memory in the dream world, but the works he left for himself are very unified in style. In addition to being used on the PK theme show, isn't it also to prepare for an album? It's just that it's really not easy for an unknown new singer to release an album. Even if it's barely released, it's still a loss. Maybe he can't even earn money from shouting. Lu Qin doesn't want to do things like puffing himself up to impress others. However, now that the opportunity has been sent to him, why doesn't he take advantage of it? Chapter 69. In a quiet and beautiful afternoon, the negotiation between Lu Qin and Wu Hongming was also friendly and sincere. It was precisely this sincere and friendly atmosphere that made him not stick to his goal requirements. The 2 sides finally reached an agreement of 650,000 signing fee plus a 2-year contract, and Whale TV has the right to terminate the contract in advance and have the priority to renew the contract. While Lu Qin was satisfied, he also thought that he should find an agent for himself. Originally, it was most appropriate for such a negotiation to be handled by an agent. A qualified and competent agent will always put the interests of the employer first. He will dare to ask for an exorbitant price and dare to fight with his opponent. He can completely put down his face. Lu Chen can't do it himself. Although he used Zhao Depeng as a stepping stone and occupied a considerable initiative in the negotiation because of his character, he couldn't force himself to be ruthless and haggle with Wu Hongming for the sake of interests. For Whale TV and Wu Shanshan, Lu Chen always has a sense of gratitude. Therefore, the memory experience from the dream world tells him that he really needs an agent. It should be known that his future is not in the live broadcast platform, but in a broader world, which will inevitably have countless negotiations. Lu Chen can't do it himself every time. After finalizing the new contract, Wu Shanshan took her laptop and went outside to find a place to print it. Lu Chen and Suiyan, the editor of Yunjing Music Network, continued to discuss. Even if it's an online album, it's not something that can be done immediately. First of all, Lu Chen has to prepare 10 songs for himself, which is the standard number of songs for a pop album. This is, of course, very simple for Lu Chen. He has sung 6 songs: You Who Sat Next to Me, Love in the Wind, The Brother Who Slept on My Upper Bunk, Cinderella, The Bright Times of Youth, and Beauty, so 4 more songs are enough. Lu Chen has even thought about which 4 songs to use to make up for his first album. But the problem is that making an album is different from playing and singing in the live broadcast room. In order to ensure quality and sales, all 10 songs must be arranged and recorded in a professional recording studio with the accompaniment of a band, as well as post-production and so on. In this regard, Lu Chen did not have much experience, and the memories from his dreams could not help him because even Su Bo had not released a real album. However, as long as he made up his mind, all difficulties could be overcome. Especially after signing a new contract with Whale TV, Lu Chen would have the money to complete the work in front of him. As for the cooperation with Yunjing Music Network, it is only an intention at present. Suiyan was very talkative. His understanding of pop music and the entertainment circle made Lu Chen admire him very much. Wu Shanshan came back with the printed contract. Lu Chen solemnly signed his name on it. That night, he invited the 3 guests from afar to have a sumptuous dinner in the Fury Hotel. Manager Wu, Sister Shanshan, Brother Sui. After dinner, Lu Chen asked, "Do you have any plans for tonight?" Wu Hongming and Suiyan looked at each other, and the latter replied with a smile, "I'm going to see some friends tomorrow. I don't have any plans tonight." "Why, Lu Chen, are you going to arrange activities for us?" Suiyan has a good impression of Lu Chen. He is young, handsome, talented, and modest and polite. He is not like many of his peers who have a little bit of ability and have their noses in the sky and look like they are the best in the world. Lu Chen smiled and said, "If there is nothing else, how about I invite you all to sit in the bar?" Wu Shanshan's eyes lit up. "Is it your Forget Grass bar?" Lu Chen nodded. Wu Shanshan smiled and her eyebrows curved. "That's great." Wu Hongming had no objection. So Lu Chen took the 3 of them by taxi and went to Forget Grass Bar in Hohai. Because it was Sunday night and they came a little late, there were no empty seats in the bar. Lu Chen hurriedly found Chen Jianhao to explain the situation. The latter not only readily provided reserved VIP tables, but also personally greeted the 3 guests from Deep Sea. After Lu Chen introduced the 2 sides to each other, they went to the backstage of the bar. The backstage room was also very lively. In addition to Li Hong, Wang Xiaoshui, and other old colleagues, Sister Na was also there. There were also 4 male and female singers who he was unfamiliar with. They should be here to run the show.
Ah!
As soon as she saw Lu Chen, Sister Na immediately shouted exaggeratedly, "Look who is here, it's a rare guest." Lu Chen touched his nose in embarrassment and said with a wry smile, "Sister Na, please spare my life." He now focuses on live broadcasting online, so the number of times he comes to Forget Grass Bar is getting less and less. After all, compared to Whale TV, the money that Lu Chen earned in the bar is really much worse. Perhaps one day he will become famous and no longer worry about money. Then he may return to the bar, hold a guitar on stage and sing casually, chat, drink, and talk music with 3 or 5 friends, and kill the idle time. But not now. Sister Na smiled and gave him a hug and said, "Sister Na is joking with you. I'm very happy that you can come. Let's go inside. Big Qin, and I have something to tell you. Okay. Lu Chun readily agreed, said hello to Li Hong and the others, and then went to the small suite with Sister Na. When walking over, Lu Chun asked, "Didn't Brother Yi come tonight?" He noticed that Yi Xinyang was not there. Sister Na said, "He is no longer in Forget Grass Bar. He resigned and left." Otherwise, speaking of Yi Xinyang, Sister Na's tone had a hint of disdain. Lu Chun nodded and did not speak. He knew that Yi Xinyang leaving Forget Grass Bar was related to him, but he had no responsibility. Sister Na said, "Xiao Lu, you will definitely enter the entertainment circle in the future. That circle is too complicated. You have to remember that you can't have the heart to harm others, and you can't have the heart to guard against others. Some people, no matter how good you are to them, who knows when they will stab you." Lu Chun smiled and said, "I know. Thank you for reminding me, Sister Na." While talking, Sister Na pushed the door open, and the two came to the small suite where the band was located. Qin Hanyang and all the members of the Bionics were there. They were rehearsing a new song. When they saw Lu Chun and Sister Na, everyone stopped practicing, and the drummer stood up. Today's Lu Chun is no longer the part-time waiter-singer. His creative talent has a wide reputation in the entire Hohai circle. The price tag of 200,000 yuan for a song has been talked about by people. And Lu Chun's original song, In the Spring, which was given to the Bionics, was exchanged by Chun Jianhao with 5% of the bar's shares. This matter has even been discussed as a legend in the circle. Qin Hanyang put down the electric guitar and said with a smile, "Xiao Lu, you came at the right time. Sister Na and I were looking for you." Lu Chun asked curiously, "Brother Qin, what is it?" Sister Na smiled and said, "Let's sit down and talk." What they wanted to talk about with Lu Chun was actually very simple. Sister Na and the Bionics joined Light Rain Media. Their new songs, In the Spring and I Want to Have a Home, will be promoted on the internet and radio next month. If they are successful, then Light Rain Media agreed to release a mini-album for them. The so-called mini-album is actually a shrunken version of a complete CD. It usually contains 5 songs and is sold at a lower price than an album. The distribution method is more flexible, so it is used by many singers and is also called a compact disc. Since the Bionics added Sister Na as the lead singer, Light Rain Media hopes that the two can invite Lu Chun to sing a duet song to enrich the content of this mini-album. Qin Hanyang said sincerely, "Originally, this matter should be handled by the company. It's just that the company considered our personal relationship, so they let us discuss it ourselves. Of course, the price of the song will be as high as it should be." Lu Chun understood, thought for a moment, and said, "That's no problem. Can I give it to you 2 days later?" Sister Na smiled and said, "Of course, no problem. We are most confident in the songs you write. It will definitely not be bad." Lu Chun smiled. After chatting for a while, Lu Chun borrowed a guitar from Qin Hanyang and went out to perform on stage. He played and sang Love in the Wind, Beauty, and The Bright Times of Youth. The 3 new songs gave the new and old customers in the bar a great surprise, and the cheers and applause have not stopped. The next morning, Lu Chun sent Wu Hongming and the other 2 to the high-speed train back to Shanghai City. At 2:00 in the afternoon, he received a text message from the bank. There were 650,000 more in the account. Chapter 70. Friday, June 5th, sunny. Near noon, Lu Chun walked out of the Binhai high-speed railway station. The dazzling sun shone on his face, making his eyes involuntarily squint and his mood soar. Thanks to the modern developed high-speed railway system, in just 5 hours, Lu Chun returned from the capital to his hometown, which he had been away from for nearly a year, a small town on the coast of eastern Zhejiang. Binhai City is a county-level city with a population of more than 1 million. The regional administration belongs to the Hangwan area, which is more than 200 kilometers away from the provincial capital, Hangzhou. Lu Chun was born and grew up here until he was admitted to Zhanghai University. Originally, he wanted to go home on the 1st because he had to go back to Zhanghai University to attend the graduation ceremony on the 9th. However, because he was preparing a new song for Sister Na and the Bionics, he was delayed in the capital for a few more days. Several songs of the Bionics have entered the formal production stage. As a songwriter, Lu Chen took the opportunity to participate in the process of arrangement and production, and put forward a lot of his own suggestions. Arrangement is Lu Chen's biggest weakness, so such an opportunity is very rare for him to learn a lot, and if the new song can be successful, it will be a good start for him to enter the mainstream circle of pop music. On the other hand, Lu Chen will also release his own album. It is good to know the production process in advance, not to mention that he has a good personal relationship with Sister Na and Qin Hanyang. Out of the train station, he took a taxi to the city's Dongping district. Dongping district is one of the earliest districts in Binhai City. It is also the location of the staff dormitory of the Municipal Finance Bureau, State Taxation Bureau, and Local Taxation Bureau. Lu Chen's mother, Fang Yun, and sister, Lu Shui, live there. Fang Yun is an accountant in the Binhai State Taxation Bureau. After the Lu family's accident, her original house and car were sold. She moved to the staff dormitory in Dongping district to save money. When he got out of the car at the gate of the district, Lu Chen did not go home immediately but ran to the bank not far from the district. At the VIP customer window of the business department, he took out his bank card and ID card and stuffed them in. "Hello, I'm here to withdraw money. I made an appointment yesterday." 5 minutes later, Lu Chen left the bank with his heavy backpack and returned to Dongping district. Fang Yun lived in room 201 of Block 7. Although Lu Chen didn't spend much time here, this small home also brought him a lot of warm memories. Seeing that he was getting closer and closer to home, his footsteps became especially light. However, when Lu Chen walked to the front of Block 7, he suddenly noticed that the car parked next to the green belt looked very familiar. He took a closer look at the license plate number and suddenly had a bad feeling. Frowning, Lu Chen sped up the stairs and soon arrived at the door of room 201. The door was unlatched, so the voices in the living room could clearly be heard by him. "There's nothing we can do. We've been in debt for so long. If it wasn't for our Wenkong wanting to buy a house, we wouldn't have come here. We're all relatives. You can't let us." After listening to a few words, Lu Chen couldn't listen anymore. He pushed the door open.
Bang!
The security door hit the wall and made a loud noise. This dormitory had a layout of 1 bedroom and 1 living room. The room was very old. The living room, bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom all added up to no more than 30 square meters. The small living room could barely accommodate a sofa and a small desk, so it looked very simple and cramped. When Lu Chen broke in, his mother, Fang Yun, was standing in front of the desk with an expressionless face. A middle-aged woman with a rich appearance was spitting at her and pointing at her. A middle-aged man with a dull look was sitting on the sofa, smoking with his head down. On his right was a young man in his 20s, wearing a t-shirt and jeans, with a messy haircut, a shiny silver earring hanging on his left ear, and an unruly look on his face. The sound of the door knocking made everyone look at Lu Chen. "Little Chen?" Fang Yun was surprised and happy. She quickly came over. "When did you come back?" Lu Chen smiled and said, "Mom, I just came back." He turned his face, and his expression became extremely cold in an instant. "Uncle, Aunt, you're all here?" The middle-aged man sitting on the sofa was Lu Chen's uncle, Fang Yuanzhong. The one who just scolded Fang Yun was his aunt, Lin Ru, and the young man with the earring was Lu Chen's cousin, Fang Wenkong. Little Chen is back." Fang Yuanzhong stood up a little bewildered and said, "It's good to be back." Lin Ru was stunned at first, and then said disdainfully, "What's good about it? If you have the ability to make money, bring it back and pay off the debt you owe our family first." Fang Wenkong sat on the armrest of the sofa and looked at Lu Chen with sarcastic eyes. Fang Yun's face was angry. She was about to speak, but she was stopped by Lu Chen behind her. Lu Chen asked lightly, "Aunt, I don't understand what you're saying. When did our family owe you money?" Lin Ru's face was distorted as if she had heard something fantastic. "What did you say? Your Lu family doesn't owe us money? It's written on both white and black papers." She took out a few pieces of paper, shook them hard at Lu Chen, and cried, "Do you still want to renege on the debt?" Lu Chen suppressed his anger and asked, "If I remember correctly, this is a shareholding agreement, right?" When the Lu family's business was booming, Lin Ru was jealous and urged Fang Yuanzhong to ask Fang Yun for some shares in the Lu family's new factory. In addition to getting dividends, she also wanted her son, Fang Wenkang, to work in the factory. The new factory was still profitable at first, and the dividends were given to the Fang family. However, after the outbreak of the international financial crisis, Lu Qingxing's business was hit hard. The bank demanded repayment of the loans, which eventually led to the capital chain being broken and the company going bankrupt. Although Lu Qingxing died, he left a huge debt to his family. In addition to the bank loans offset with fixed assets, he still owed millions to his relatives and friends. Fang Yun bore all these debts. It was natural to pay off debts, and there was nothing to say. However, the Fang family signed a shareholding agreement, and the dividends they had taken in the past had exceeded the shares. After the factory closed, they still had to ask Fang Yun to return the shares and pay back the money. There was no reason at all. Lu Chen knew that his mother had paid back some money to Lin Ru, and the relationship between the Lu family and the Fang family had become very cold. He didn't expect that the Fang family would come to their house today to force Fang Yun to pay back the debt. It was the best. How could Lu Chen not be angry? If you want money, then go to the court to sue. Now, get out of here. It was impossible for the court to support such a debt. How could Lin Ru not know? She was choked by Lu Chen's harsh words, and the muscles on her fat face twitched. She suddenly grabbed Fang Yuanzhong and howled, "Fang Yuanzhong, say something. Are you just going to watch your nephew bully your wife? Are you dead?" Fang Yuanzhong frowned and let Lin Ru beat him. He looked at Fang Yun helplessly. "Little Yun, how can you talk to my mother like that?" Fang Wenkang jumped up and rushed to Lu Chen aggressively. *CK your mother. You're looking for a beating. The living room was instantly thrown into a state of chaos. Lu Chen saw Fang Wenkang reach out to grab his chest. He dropped his backpack and did not dodge. At the moment when the other party's claws were about to touch his body, he suddenly raised his left hand and grabbed it. Pa! The next moment, a heavy slap landed on Fang Wenkang's face. Fang Wenkang was caught off guard and was directly stunned. Lin Ru also stopped crying and was stunned. Lu Chen's face was cold. He pushed Fang Wenkang away with his left hand and said in a deep voice, "Fang Wenkang, if you want to die, just say it. I will fulfill your wish." This kid used to be like a dog in front of him, but now he dared to insult his mother. Lu Chen wanted to kill Fang Wenkang. This slap was too light. Fang Wenkang was almost pushed to the ground. He covered his red and swollen face and came to his senses after a while. Then he howled like a pig being slaughtered. "Damn it, Lu Chen wants to kill me." Lin Ru was so angry that her nose was crooked. She screamed, "Fang!" She didn't know why, but the cold look on Lu Chen's face made her subconsciously feel a trace of fear, so she wanted to instruct Fang Yuanzhong to come forward and teach Lu Chen a lesson. She didn't dare to do it herself. "Enough!" Fang Yun shouted. She was disheartened and said to Fang Yuanzhong, "Brother, I will call you brother for the last time. I will find a way to return the money to you in the future. You can go." The greatest sorrow was the death of the heart. Fang Yuanzhong didn't dare to look at Fang Yun's eyes. His lips moved, but he couldn't speak. There is no need to do it in the future. Lu Chen picked up the backpack on the ground and suddenly unzipped it. "Return it now." Chapter 71. The backpack that Lu Chen carried was very ordinary. It was something that could be bought online for a few tens of dollars. However, it was this kind of backpack that was filled with stacks of $100 bills. All of them were neatly sealed with bank tape, and the red color was particularly dazzling. When he pulled open the zipper, the living room was silent. Lin Ru stopped shouting and looked straight at the backpack full of bills. Fang Wenkang covered his face and was stunned, with a funny look that his jaw had dropped. Lu Chen's family education had been very good since he was a child. Fang Yun had always been strict with him. It was only after he went to college in Hangzhou that she stopped controlling him. Therefore, even when the Liu family was at its best, he had never done any ridiculous things like a rich playboy. However, at this moment, Liu Chen wanted to take out the money in his backpack and smash it hard on their faces. He didn't mean to pay back the money at all, but he knew his mother's character very well. "Tell me, how much more money do you want?" Lin Ru swallowed her saliva and squeezed out a fake smile on her fat face. She didn't even care that Liu Chen had just slapped her son. She asked, "Lil Chen, where did you get so much money?" There were at least hundreds of thousands of yuan in this backpack, and it was possible to get millions of yuan. The Liu family used to be rich, but it was not easy to come up with so much money at one time. What's more, the current Liu family was not even as big as an ordinary family. She was dazzled by the stacks of 100 yuan bills. She was very curious and greedy. Liu Chen said faintly, "You can also rob a bank. Aren't you the best at it?" After eating Liu Chen's 2 words of ridicule, Lin Ru felt embarrassed no matter how thick-skinned she was. Her face sank in an instant. "You're really promising, then give us back our money first." "You don't have our money." To everyone's surprise, Fong Yuanzhong, who had been silent all the time, suddenly broke out at this time. His face turned red, and he suddenly grabbed the shareholding agreement in Lin Ru's hand. Then he tore it into pieces and roared, "The Liu family doesn't owe us, let alone you, Lin Ru." Lin Ru was so shocked that she couldn't speak. Even in her dreams, she had never imagined that her honest and cowardly husband would do such a drastic thing. Not only did he shed all pretense of cordiality with her, he even tore up the investment agreement. Without this agreement, how was she going to extort money from the Liu family? Fong Yuanzhong ignored her. The haggard middle-aged man said to Fong Yun guiltily, "Xiaoyan, I'm sorry. We won't bother you anymore." With that, he turned his head and strode out the door. Lin Ru came to her senses and screamed, "Fong Yuanzhong." She really had the intention to eat her own husband alive. Fong Yuanzhong completely ignored her and left the Liu family without looking back. Lin Ru and Fong Wenkong were completely dumbfounded. Liu Chen was also a little surprised, but not too surprised, because he knew that his uncle was still a good person, but he was too cowardly. He was usually treated like a grandson by his aunt, Lin Ru, and had no status at home. If Fong Yun didn't want to embarrass her eldest brother too much, why would she agree to Lin Ru's shameless request? And Fong Yuanzhong's outburst now should be because he still had a conscience and had not completely extinguished family affection. He zipped up the backpack again and said to Lin Ru indifferently, "Aunt, since Uncle has left, we won't keep you for lunch." "I'm really sorry." Fong Wenkong cried. "Want to drive us away?"
Pay off the money first.
He wanted to grab the backpack from Liu Chen's hand. Liu Chen sneered and said, "I don't know what you're talking about. Are you still dreaming?" The invalid agreement was torn up, and Fong Yuanzhong had left. How could he pay back the money? Lin Ru was also very unwilling, but when she saw Liu Chen's look, she knew that she would be humiliated if she continued to pester him. Maybe Fong Wenkong would be beaten, so she took her son and left the Liu family in disgrace. This debt had to be settled with Fong Yuanzhong first. After driving away the 2 disgusting people, Liu Chen felt that the air in the room was much fresher. He smiled and said to Fong Yun, "Mom, what shall we eat for lunch?" "I'm starving." Fong Yun sighed and said, "Little Chen, don't blame your uncle. Your uncle had no choice." Liu Chen nodded and said, "I recognize my uncle. As for those 2, if they dare to come again, you can call the police directly." Fong Yun smiled bitterly and said, "I know." Liu Chen knew that his mother was soft on the outside but hard on the inside. If it weren't for Fong Yuanzhong, she wouldn't have been bullied by Lin Ru. He handed the backpack in his hand to Fong Yun and said, "Mom, here's 1,000,000 yuan. I'll accompany you to pay back the money in the afternoon." Fong Yun used to pay back the money in cash, and she personally went to the homes of those relatives and friends to pay back the money in person. She used this way to show everyone that the Liu family would not run away from the debt, and the debt would be there. Liu Qingsheng was a righteous and trustworthy person when he was alive. So many people were willing to lend him money. Although he was now gone, Fong Yun would not discredit him and the Liu family. Many relatives and friends took out their life savings, and this debt represented a heavy responsibility. Fong Yun took the backpack and asked incredulously, "Where did you get so much money?" She was very surprised when Lu Qin transferred 300,000 yuan to her before. She didn't expect that he would bring another million today. Did he really rob a bank? Lu Qin smiled and said, "I'll tell you slowly. Anyway, I earned it cleanly." The 1 million yuan was all earned by Lu Qin from Whale TV. 650,000 signing bonus plus 200,000 PK bonus plus 150,000 reward commission, and he still had 150,000 in his bank account. A few days ago, Lu Qin wrote a new song for the Bionics, and 150,000 was a discounted friendship price. As they were talking, the door of the room was pushed open. "We're back." With a clear shout, a young woman in a white dress and a girl in a yellow shirt came in one after another. The former was carrying a lot of plastic bags in her hand, and the bags were filled with fresh fruits and vegetables. "Brother." Seeing Lu Qin standing in the living room, the girl in the yellow shirt first blinked, then shouted and rushed to him. Lu Qin smiled and opened his arms, holding the other in his arms. The girl in the yellow shirt was Lu Chen's sister, Lu Shui, and the woman in the white dress was his sister, Lu Shi. Lu Chen and Lu Shui had a very good relationship. He loved his sister very much. After a year, he was naturally very surprised in his heart. "You've gained weight." "How can I gain weight?" Lu Shui wrinkled her nose and jumped down from Lu Chen and said coquettishly, "Mom, brother bullied me." Fong Yun touched Lu Shui's head and asked Lu Shi, who looked indifferent, "Little Shi, why are you here?" Among the three siblings, the elder sister, Lu Shi, was like Lu Qingsheng in both appearance and temper. Lu Shui and Fong Yun were almost the same, and Lu Chen was a combination of the advantages of both parents, tall and handsome. Lu Shi was a little stubborn. She didn't get along very well with Lu Chen before. She said lightly, "Xiao Xue called me and said that uncle and the others came to make trouble again." Lu Shui stuck out her tongue, looked around and asked, "Where are uncle and the old witch?" She called Lin Ru an old witch. After the other party came, Fong Yun sent her out to buy vegetables to hide from trouble. Lu Shui was worried that her mother would suffer, so she called Lu Shi. The two sisters came back at the same time, but they didn't expect Lu Chen to be there. "That's your aunt." Fong Yun snappily flicked her head and said, "Children are not allowed to be rude. Uncle and the others are gone." "That's great." Lu Shui clapped her hands with a smile and said, "It's great that our family is reunited." She reached out to Lu Chen and said, "Brother, what gift did you buy for me?"
I don't want it.
Lu Chen couldn't help laughing. He opened his suitcase and took out the laptop he had bought in the capital. Lu Shui was overjoyed. "Is it for me?" Lu Shi frowned and said, "Xiao Xue will take the college entrance examination next year. Why did you buy her a computer? Even if you can make money now, you have to save money. Our family still owes a lot of debts." Lu Chen said, "Sister, I can pay off the family's debts in 2 years at most." Lu Shi sneered. "Keep bragging." Chapter 72. Lu Shi didn't believe Lu Chen's words at all, because she knew very well how much debt her family needed to pay off. Under normal circumstances, it might take the family a lifetime to pay off the debt, and they had to work very hard to make money. Unless there was a miracle, or they won the lottery. Lu Shi never bought lottery tickets. She never pinned her hopes on illusory luck. Fong Yun hesitated for a moment and said, "Little Chen just brought back 1 million yuan. He earned it by singing. He didn't talk nonsense." No one knows a son better than a mother. She was the flesh that fell from her body. Fong Yun understood Lu Chen's thoughts very well. Lu Chen wanted Lu Shi to continue her studies. "Mom." Lu Shi's eyes widened in disbelief and she said, "Why are you talking nonsense to him? He earned 1 million yuan by singing. When did Lu Chen become a big star? It was a fantasy." However, at this time, Lu Shi suddenly remembered that Lu Chen had remitted 300,000 yuan to her family not long ago. She couldn't help closing her mouth.
Wow.
Lu Shui cried out and worshipped. Brother, you're so awesome. She had 100% trust in Lu Chen. The most important thing was that Lu Chen could make so much money, so there was no problem in giving her this beautiful laptop. Well, let's not talk about this now. Fang Yun didn't want to embarrass her eldest daughter, so she said, "Little Shi, help me cook." Lu Shi was very stubborn, so it was better for mother and daughter to communicate in private. Fang Yun took Lu Shi to prepare lunch. Lu Chen took clothes from the suitcase to take a bath, and Lu Shui played with the new computer happily. The small home was filled with a warm atmosphere of reunion. Plate after plate of steaming hot and fragrant dishes were served on the table. Although there weren't any delicacies such as fish and meat, Lu Chen ate with great relish because this was the taste of home that he couldn't taste anywhere else. When they were almost done, Lu Chen asked, "Sister, do you have a financial broker's license?" Among the 3 children of the Lu family, Lu Shi was a well-deserved top student. When she took the college entrance examination, she failed 2 subjects because of a bad cold. Otherwise, she could have gone to Beijing University and Tsinghua University. Then Lu Shi did not retake the exam. She went directly to Zhanghai University to study finance. She was preparing to go to Beijing University after graduation. However, she gave up further studies because of her family's changes. Lu Chen knew that she had obtained a lot of professional certificates during her college years, so he asked. Lu Shi said, "Yes, what do you want to do?" After Fang Yun's persuasion and explanation, her attitude towards Lu Chen finally improved a lot. It's just that the previous prejudice is not so easy to reverse. Lu Chen talked about the process of negotiating a new contract with Whale TV and finally said, "I originally wanted a signing fee of 1 million, but after talking about it, it became 650,000. I couldn't put down my face." Lu Shi was surprised. "You mean you talked about a contract of 1 million to 650,000? Lu Chen nodded with a wry smile. Things were not that simple, but in order to persuade Lu Shi, he was willing to take the blame. "Why are you so stupid?" Lu Shi was angry. "You don't even know that you were sold. 1,650,000. There was a difference of 350,000. How long would she need to work hard to earn this money?" Lu Chen took the opportunity to say, "So, I want to invite you to be my agent. In the future, I will let you negotiate contracts on my behalf. I am going to open a studio in Beijing, and I need someone to help me." He really needed a reliable agent, and he really wanted to open a studio. Although several entertainment media companies have looked for Lu Chen and wanted to sign him. But after serious consideration, Lu Chen gave up the conventional way of signing a contract, training, debut, publicity, and hype to become famous. Because there were great restrictions on his personal and rights. His idea was to open a personal studio so that he could cooperate with any company or individual, maximize his own interests, and have the power to make decisions freely. Nowadays, many big shots in the entertainment industry have open studios for the same reason. Although Lu Chen was still unknown compared to them, he had the wealth of a world. With those precious memories, only others would beg him in the future. Of course, these were Lu Chen's preliminary ideas, and there was still a lot of work to be done. Inviting Lu Shi to be his agent was the first step he had taken. But Lu Shi was not so easy to be persuaded. Entertainment agents and financial agents are different. Lu Chen smiled and said, "Bargaining and negotiation are all the same. With you to help me, maybe we can pay off the debt in a year. Moreover, you can also take the postgraduate entrance examination and be a part-time agent when you come to Beijing." The postgraduate entrance examination of Beijing University was in mid-August, and Lu Shi could make it in time to prepare now. Lu Shi said suspiciously, "Why do I feel that you are setting a trap to fool me?"
She was not a fool.
How could she not hear Lu Chen's intention? Although she said so, the look in Lu Shi's eyes showed that she was really moved. Lu Chen smiled and didn't say anything. Fang Yun said, "Little Shi, go and help Little Chen. You said that he will be a star and sing in the future. The entertainment circle is so chaotic. I can rest assured if you are around Little Chen to supervise and manage him. Lu Shui swallowed the food in her mouth and shouted, Brother, I support you to be a star. Big stars like Ensu, Yang, and Wang Yuan fan. Fang Yin knocked her on the head with chopsticks and said, Eat carefully. Don't interrupt when adults are talking. I'm 17 years old. I'm an adult. Lu Shui muttered, but still obediently buried her head in the food in her bowl. She finally made a decision. Well, I'll try. Hearing this, Lu Chen and Fang Yin smiled at the same time. She said to Lu Chen, Don't be complacent. I'll take good care of you when we get to Beijing. Lu Chen's smile suddenly turned into a wry smile. But this was a good start, wasn't it? After dinner, he followed Fang Yin and carried a backpack full of money to pay off his debts. Lu Qingsheng owed a lot of debts. Among these people were his relatives, friends, comrades, former colleagues, and business partners. The number was quite large. When Fang Yin paid off her debts, as long as the other party was in Binhai City, she would visit them in person. It was the first time that Lu Chen went with her to pay off money, so he deeply understood his mother's difficulty. Fortunately, these creditors were very reasonable. Whether they were relatives or friends, they did not embarrass the two. Instead, they were very enthusiastic. Many people said they were not in a hurry, and they were all very interested in Lu Chen. Little Chen has grown up. Little Chen is very handsome. Where do you work? Does Little Chen have a girlfriend? Little Chen is good. After running all the way and paying off all the 1 million, Lu Chen's face was stiff from smiling, and the sky was dark. He lived at home for 3 days and took the high-speed train to Hangzhou on the afternoon of the 8th. Binhai City was only more than 200 kilometers away from Hangzhou. It took 40 minutes to get there by high-speed train, and then transfer to the subway at Hangzhou Station to go directly to the station of Zhanghai University. It was very convenient. Looking at the familiar school gate, Lu Chen had a feeling that it was a lifetime ago. As soon as his junior year was over, he applied to the school for social practice in advance and went to work in Beijing. As a result, he took a completely different path in life. After a year, Lu Chen was going to say goodbye to this campus that had left him with countless memories, countless beautiful, sad, moving, enthusiastic. At this moment, he was a little unable to take a step. Third brother. Suddenly, someone behind Lu Chen patted him on the shoulder hard. Lu Chen couldn't help but turn his head and saw a big and burly man with a stubble beard looking at him with a smile and said, I saw you from afar just now. I was right.
Boss.
Lu Chen was very surprised. When did you come back? This burly man was his classmate, Gao He, a native of Ji City, Chilu Province. He was also one of Lu Chen's 3 roommates in the same dormitory. He was the eldest according to age and had always had a good relationship with Lu Chen. Gao He smiled and said, I just came back. Let's go back to the dormitory together. I don't know if Old K and Old C have arrived. Of course, Lu Chen had no objection. The two talked and laughed as they walked towards the dormitory building. Chapter 73. Gao He is a very typical Chilu man. He is 195 meters tall. He is the main center of the computing department basketball team. He is straightforward and generous. He has a good temper and is easy to get along with. He looks a little mature. Gao He sleeps in Lu Chen's lower bunk. On the way to the dormitory, Lu Chen asked, Where's sister-in-law? Are they back yet? Gao He's girlfriend, Wang Xiaoling, is in the same Chinese department. She is petite and exquisite. They are often called Beauty and the Beast together. When she was a freshman, she held hands with Gao He. However, Gao He looked gloomy and said, Split. Lu Chen was shocked. What's going on? For Wang Xiaoling and Gao He to fall in love, Lu Chen could be regarded as half a matchmaker. He knew that the relationship between the two had always been good. Although graduation season was the breakup season in college, Lu Chen thought they could continue. Gao He said with a wry smile, I found a job in Ji City. Wang Xiaoling wants to stay in Hangzhou. You know the current housing price in Hangzhou. The money to buy a bathroom is enough for me to buy a suite at home, and my parents also need me to take care of them. Lu Chun was silent. Hangzhou's economy had been developing very fast in the past 10 years. While it had brought prosperity, it had also brought high prices. In particular, the housing prices had been rising steadily, and their increase had always been among the highest in the country. It was basically an extravagant hope for ordinary working-class people to buy a house here. Gao He's family is ordinary, and he is also the only son in his family. The love in college can't beat the reality after all. He could only pat Gao He on the shoulder to comfort him. On the contrary, Gao He was very open-minded and said, "I'm fine. I've been mentally prepared for this for a long time. Third brother, how are you doing in the capital? Have you found a new girlfriend?" Lu Chun smiled and said, "It's not bad. I was lucky enough to earn some money. As for a girlfriend, I don't want to think about it for now." Gao He knew the situation of Lu Chun's family and was happy for him. "Are you planning to develop in Beijing for a long time?" Lu Chun nodded.
Yes.
"Come to Beijing to find me when you're free. G City is very close to Beijing." Gao He smiled and said, "When you become a local tyrant, then I will definitely lead a team to fight against local tyrants." Lu Chun laughed. As they chatted and laughed, the two arrived at the university dormitory. The door of the 405 dormitory was half open. Gao He guessed, it must be Old K and Old C coming back. He pushed the door open and shouted, "The police are checking the room." Sure enough, there were already two people in the dormitory. One was lying on the bed playing with his phone, and the other was sitting at the table playing games. The two were shocked by Gao He's beast-like roar. Lu Chun followed them in. "This is a robbery. Please hand over your bank cards, transportation cards, and meal cards." The one who played with the phone was Old K, whose real name was Wan Hongji. He was from Xiangbei, and he was the second oldest among his 4 roommates. However, he couldn't accept the term second oldest, so he changed it to Old K, the second in the playing cards. Zhou Rui Lao Si, who was playing computer games, was a native of Hangzhou. He was thin and small, and had an unattractive appearance. After being frightened, he wanted to cry, but had no tears. "Boss, the boss is going berserk. It's going berserk." He had been in a party to fight the boss. He had lost control of the rhythm of the battle and had instantly sent the boss into a berserk state. And then the whole team was annihilated. Gao He, Lu Chun, and Wan Hongji laughed. Zhou Rui was scolded by his teammates. He could only vent his anger on his 3 friends. "You wait." Lu Chun was just about to speak when the phone in his pocket rang. He picked it up and heard that it was Chao Xiuzhu who called. "Lu Chun, have you returned to school?" Lu Chun smiled and said, "I just came back. What instructions does the class monitor have?" Chao Xiuzhu said, "It's good that you're back. Are you ready for the program? Tomorrow night's graduation party has been arranged. Don't drop the ball for me." Lu Chun said, "You can rest assured that I will do things. We can cheat others, but we can't cheat our class monitor." Chao Xiuzhu smiled and said, "You went to Beijing to learn to be poor. Well, that's it." After hanging up the phone, Gao He asked curiously, "Why is the class monitor looking for you?" Lu Chun explained, "Tomorrow night's graduation party. Let me perform on stage." Wan Hongji said with emotion, "It used to be a New Year's party. Now it's a graduation party. Time flies. Time is ruthless, and the days in the ivory tower always pass quickly. Many good things can only be left in memory." The 405 dormitory fell into a brief silence. Gao He asked, "Old K, Old C, what are your plans after graduation?" Wan Hongji said, "I know a senior brother who opened an IT company in Huhai and asked me to help him. I want to learn more things there, and then if there is a chance, I may emigrate." Among the 4, Wan Hongji's academic performance is the best. It has always been his dream to go abroad through technical immigration. As for Zhou Rui, after graduation, I will go to the game department of Fading Company. I have already signed a contract. Although he wanted to speak calmly, he couldn't hide the sense of pride in his voice. Gao He wanted to beat someone. Damn, Fading Company. Lu Chun smiled and said, "Congratulations. Fading Company is one of the top 3 internet companies in China. The famous Ibao and Yafubeo are under its banner. In addition, the game department is very strong. It has self-produced and acted as an agent for many popular online games. The key is that Fading Company is a local company in Hangzhou, and the treatment has always been one of the best in the industry. Zhou Rui is from Hangzhou. Of course, it is worth celebrating that he can work in Fading Company. Wan Hongji cried, "You have to treat me tonight." Zhou Rui hummed and said, "I have no problem treating you. If you are not drunk, you pay." Gao He patted his chest and said, "Drink with me. Don't go home until you are drunk." Lu Chen stood up and said, "Let's go to the Old Tavern." The Old Tavern is a long-established tavern. It is separated from Jianghai University by a civic square. It is said to have a history of hundreds of years. It is famous for its cheap and delicious dishes. Many students like to go there to have a sumptuous meal. Because the business of the Old Tavern is excellent, there will be no seats if they go late. The 4 people of the 405 dormitory rushed over before the meal time and finally occupied a table by the window. They ordered a few special dishes and then beer. A box of Jiangchao beer, which cost 2 yuan a bottle, was placed on the ground.
There was no need for a glass.
They opened the lid and directly drank from the bottle. After drinking 2 bottles, they began to drink water. They chatted about life and talked about the past period of their youth. Lu Chen drank 1 bottle after another. He drank more and talked less. Most of the time, he listened to his roommates talking about the girls in the next class, talking about the new counselors and female teachers, talking about the unattainable junior sisters, talking about their expectations for the future. The alcohol drowned his body a little bit, but it made his mood more relaxed than ever. Unfortunately, there is no banquet that never ends. After graduation, everyone will go their separate ways. The next time they meet may be at someone's wedding. At that time, when they recall this period of time, they will no longer have the same mood. A box of 12 bottles of beer, the 4 people of the 405 dormitory drank 4 boxes. From 5:00 to 8:00, Zhou Rui and Wan Hongji went to the bathroom to vomit twice. He couldn't drink anymore. Zhou Rui struggled to pay the bill and then was helped out of the Old Tavern by Gao He. Lu Chen and Wan Hongji could barely walk by themselves, but they couldn't walk in a straight line. So they supported each other and walked into the civic square. Although it was not a weekend, the civic square was still very lively. Uncles and aunts were dancing in the square, children were playing on roller skates, and couples were wandering together. In the wind of a summer night, who is singing a sad love song. Pedestrians in 2s and 3s were surrounding a wandering singer, listening to him sing an old song from the past. "Son of a bitch." Gao He scolded. "His singing is too bad. It's not as good as Old Sand's singing. Old Sand, you go and PK him." He was the best drinker. He drank 1.5 of the 4 boxes of beer, but he was also a little drunk. Zhou Rui shouted, "Sing. You must sing. Sing 2 more bottles." Lu Chen was drunk and said, "I'll sing." He shook off Wan Hongji, strode forward, and asked the wandering singer, "Friend, can I borrow your guitar and the venue? I'll sing a song for my brother." The wandering singer readily handed the guitar to Lu Chen. "No problem."
"Thank you."
Lu Chen took the guitar and skillfully strummed the steel strings with his fingers to test the sound. The guitar was a very ordinary guitar. The tone was basically accurate, and it was connected to a self-powered speaker connected to a microphone. It was a very standard street singing equipment. Chapter 74. Facing the dusty microphone, Lu Chen let out a long breath of alcohol. He said, "I want to sing this song. First of all, to Gao He, our dormitory boss Gao, I hope he will always be so optimistic and open-minded, and then to all the people who have ever had ideals and dreams." Drunk, Lu Chen actually has a lot of words in his heart, but he doesn't want to say them, so he just sings. This song is for Gao He, for his friends, for everyone, and for himself. Good. Both Gao He and Wan Hongji applauded loudly. They didn't care what Lu Chen sang, and whether he sang well or not. They just wanted to cry and laugh heartily and spend the last period of time before graduation. Tian, Lu Chen is a good singer. Many people in the public square noticed the movement here and came around to watch the excitement. Several of them were students of Zhanghai University, pointing at Lu Chun and laughing. Which senior brother is drunk and messing around here? Lu Chun doesn't care. He played the guitar and began to sing along with the rhythm. Once dreamed of walking the world with a sword, seeing the prosperity of the world. The young heart is always a little frivolous. Now you are at home in the world. The girl who once made you feel sorry, now she has disappeared quietly. Love always makes you yearn and feel annoyed, once made you bruised all over. The drunk Lu Chen singing is no longer so clear and clean, with a trace of sadness and vicissitudes of life, low, and contains the power of the soul cry, which instantly attracted the ears of the people present. This is a song they have never heard before. Gao He didn't laugh anymore, because he was not drunk enough to hear the lyrics. Lu Chen's singing seems to be like a sledgehammer cast in copper and iron, hitting his heart again and again, making the nearly 2-meter-tall man bow and tremble involuntarily. The girl who once made you feel sorry, now she has disappeared quietly. Love always makes you yearn and feel annoyed, once made you bruised all over. Isn't it singing about him? The next moment, the singing suddenly became high-pitched and high-spirited. Dilla-lilla-dilla-lilla-data, 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 walking on the road of courage. Dilla-lilla-dilla-lilla-data, dilla-lilla-dilla-lilla-data, dilla-lilla-dilla-lilla-data. There was sadness and excitement. More and more people were attracted by the singing. At first, there were only a dozen or so people surrounding the area. Soon, there were hundreds of people, forming a large circle on the square. Lu Chun turned a blind eye to it. His mind was completely immersed in the mood of the song, expressing all the accumulated emotions through the song. Every moment of sadness, just to look at the sea alone. I always think of my friends who are walking by my side. How many are waking up? Let us drink this cup of wine. A good man's heart is like the sea. Having experienced the vicissitudes of life, the warmth and coldness of the world, the smile was warm and innocent. The huge square seemed to have become a stage for Lu Chen alone. All the clamor and noise had disappeared. Only his singing was reverberating, impacting, and shocking. Although he was holding a broken guitar worth hundreds of yuan in his arms, although he was facing a stained old microphone, although the quality of the amplifier was not good, but these do not damage the charm of the song. It is a memorial to the memory of youth and a declaration of no regrets for the past time. When it crosses the barrier of space and appears in this world, it can still move everyone. Let us drink this cup of wine. A good man's heart is like the sea. He has experienced all kinds of life and the warmth and coldness of the world. Whether it was Gao He, Wan Hongji, or Zhou Rui, they all had a smile on their faces. Especially Gao He. The breakup between him and Wang Xiaoling was like a thorn in his heart. Although he seemed to be laughing and laughing on the surface as if he didn't care at all, only he knew the pain in his heart. Lu Chen's song made him feel relieved. No matter how many regrets they have had, no matter what they have lost, they have had sincere friendship, love, and the best time on campus. A real man should have a heart like the sea and be able to accommodate countless storms. When Lu Chen began to sing for the second time, the number of onlookers reached hundreds of people. Many people raised their mobile phones to take pictures of him, and more people listened quietly until he finished singing. In an instant, warm applause broke out quickly in the crowd, such as "good singing," "one more song," and so on, pushing the atmosphere of the scene to the climax. Many people took out the coins in their pockets and put them in the open guitar case on the ground. They all thought that Lu Chen was a wandering singer. "Thank you, everyone." Lu Chen bowed to thank them, and then returned the guitar to the real wandering singer next to him. "Thank you." The other party took the guitar in a daze. When Lu Chen turned and left, he woke up as if he had just woken up from a dream. He quickly asked, "Friend, what's the name of your song? Where can I download the score?" Lu Chen looked back and replied, "This song is called Once You. I wrote it myself." The wandering singer was stunned. He held his guitar and stared blankly at him as he walked away. "Old 3, when did you become so powerful?" On the way back to the dormitory, Gao He couldn't help but ask, Did you really write this song yourself? Although he doesn't understand pop music very well, he can hear that this is a really good song. It's hard to believe that it was written by Lu Chen himself. Lu Chen said frankly, "Yes, I make money by singing in Beijing. Old 3 is really awesome." Wan Hongji said excitedly, "I think he is very suitable to be a star. He is handsome enough, and he can sing and write songs." Zhou Rui cried, "Good. He sings really well. Shall we drink a few more bottles?" He hasn't sobered up yet. Lu Chen and the other two laughed, dragged Zhou Rui back to the dormitory, and then fell asleep. This night, Lu Chen has been dreaming. In his dream, he returned to the familiar and strange world, like a ghost wandering in the world, like a passerby walking in the secular world, watching the end of prosperity, watching the joys and sorrows of separation and reunion. Sometimes he is Subo, sometimes he is Mo Ran, sometimes he is Fong Mingyi, a Chu. He doesn't know how much time has passed, but Lu Chen suddenly felt a strange itch in his nostrils, and he couldn't help but sneeze loudly, waking himself up. Lu Chen opened his eyes, and the first thing he saw was a girl with a round face, round eyes, and a smile. She was still holding the small brush that Wan Hongji used to practice calligraphy in her hand. Lu Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Class monitor Chao." Chao Xiuzhu smiled and said, "I can't wake you guys up by calling. Get up and eat breakfast." Lu Chen looked down and didn't know where Gao He and the other two had gone. He sniffed and said, "Century egg lean meat porridge, bacon burger, well, and fragrant soybean milk." Chao Xiuzhu was shocked. "You can smell this?" She took a burger and porridge and handed it to Lu Chen. Lu Chen smiled and said, "You can go to KFC and work for a few months. You can smell it." "Thank you, class monitor." He was not polite. He turned over and took the breakfast, sat on the edge of Gao He's bed, and ate directly. "Washing up and eating will be done later." Chao Xiuzhu hesitated and sat down beside Lu Chen and said, "Lu Chen, Wang Ying asked me to ask you how you're doing recently. She said that her uncle's company in Hangzhou is recruiting people if you—" Chao Xiuzhu deliberately sent Gao He and the other two away. She had something to say to Lu Chen alone. She always thought that Lu Chen and Wang Ying were a good match. No need. Lu Chen's appetite was gone in an instant. He put down the burger and said to Chao Xiuzhu, "Class monitor, thank Wang Ying for me, but I have found a suitable job." Wang Ying was his ex-girlfriend. The two broke up after his father died. At that time, this incident was a big blow to Lu Chen. Chao Xiuzhu bit her lip and asked, "Do you still hate her?" It was Chao Xiuzhu who introduced Wang Ying to Lu Chen. The breakup of the two made her feel guilty all the time. "Hate." Lu Chen shook his head and said, "It's all in the past. I'm fine now. Really, I don't blame her."
Just a passerby.
Chao Xiuzhu took a deep look at him and said, "Lu Chen, you have changed." Lu Chen smiled and said, "People always change." He used to be young and frivolous. Now he has experienced the upheaval of his family and the life of drifting ants in the capital. He also has the memories of the vicissitudes of 3 lives in his dream. He has really matured. The only thing that has not changed is perhaps the blood in his heart. How about you and your family? What are your plans after graduation? He changed the topic and didn't want to talk about himself anymore. Chao Xiuzhu replied, "We will stay in Hangzhou after graduation and get married after 2 years of stability." "Congratulations." Lu Chen smiled and said, "Remember to invite me to your wedding at that time." There were tears and laughter. Life is always like this. Note: Once you lyrics/composer, Su Wei. Chapter 75. On June 9, 2015, the 2011 graduation ceremony of Zhanghai University was held in Heliang Great Auditorium. Heliangwei Auditorium was donated by He Liangwei, the richest man in Macau and a patriotic businessman. The whole building was built in a Chinese-style architectural style, with large-scale and advanced facilities. The seats on the upper and lower floors could accommodate 6,500 spectators. He Liangwei is a famous gambling king. He owns a 7-star Macau hotel and 3 luxury casinos. His business scope involves gambling, real estate, logistics, entertainment, and other industries, with assets of more than 50 billion. The gambling king was born in a poor family. Before he finished high school, he ran to the street as a hawker selling fish eggs. Then, relying on his hard work and clever mind, he became an influential figure in Macau step by step and became a legend in the modern metropolis. However, the most interesting thing is not his struggle experience, but the gambling king's boundless luck with women. He Liangwei is unattractive, but he has 7 wives. In addition to the original wife, the other 6 include 4 Australian misses and 2 Xiangjiang misses. He has a total of 19 children. He can be called a real winner in life. In his old age, He Liangwei is very enthusiastic about charity. Every year, he donates more than 1 billion yuan in China, mainly to aid education and medical care. There are more than 100 buildings named after him, such as hospitals, libraries, auditoriums, laboratories, gymnasiums, and so on. He Liang Great Auditorium of Zhanghai University was completed 2 years ago and ranks in the forefront of the similar buildings in domestic universities. At 9 a.m., the auditorium was already full. Lu Chen and Gao He were sitting in the back seat of the lower floor, surrounded by their classmates. Because there is a half-year social practice period in the senior year, many familiar students have not seen each other for a long time. Everyone was naturally very happy to reunite here, talking and laughing and greeting each other with concern. But thinking that they will go their separate ways after today, they can't help but feel sad and nostalgic. Lu Chen applied for social practice half a year in advance. It has been a year since he left school. Many students specially came to chat with him, asked him about his current situation and future plans, and also invited him to start a business together. Tian, Lu Chen's relationship in the university is still very good. Although not everyone likes him, there are many people who are willing to become friends with him. Of course, there are also people who don't like him. For example, the thin and tall young man who just came over had a teasing look on his face, and his tone was very annoying. Lu Chen, how are you doing in the capital? It's not easy living in Beijing, right? Do you earn enough money to eat? Zhang Jinping, no one will think you're a mute if you don't speak. Before Lu Chen could answer, Gao He was angry. He abruptly stood up and looked down at the other party. Are you itching for a beating again? The tall and thin young man took half a step back and said resentfully, Gao He, don't bite Lu Dongbin. I asked Lu Chen because I want to help him. Next month, I will join EasyNet Company. Everyone is in Beijing, so we can take care of each other. EasyNet is one of the top 10 web portals in the country and is listed on NASDAQ in the United States. For the computer science graduates of Zhanghai University, it is undoubtedly a good choice for employment. Therefore, when this thin and tall young man called Zhang Jinping spoke, he did not conceal his pride. EasyNet Company. Isn't that a famous pig farm? Zhou Rui said in a strange tone. Well, that really suits you. The owner of EasyNet Company spent a lot of money 2 years ago to open a modern and green pig farm. It is said that he lost tens of millions of yuan, so netizens called EasyNet a pig farm, and it has another meaning. Both Gao He and Wan Hongji laughed. Lu Chen also laughed and said, Zhang Jinping, I appreciate your kindness, but you should go back to your seat. Zhang Jinping is also a computer science major, but he is not in the same class as Lu Chen. This guy once pursued Wang Ying, but he was defeated by Lu Chen and became one of the many losers. Later, Lu Chen's family changed, and he broke up with Wang Ying. Zhang Jinping was the one who gloated the most. He made a lot of sarcasm to Lu Chen and always looked like a coward. He probably thought that today was the last chance to hit Lu Chen, so he deliberately came over to ridicule him. As a result, he was directly killed by Gao He and Zhou Rui, and he was also humiliated. Lu Chen will not be serious with the other party. When he was at his lowest, he didn't put Zhang Jinping in his eyes. Let alone now. Zhang Jinping still wanted to sneer at him, but when he saw Gao He's unkind eyes, he finally left resentfully. He was really beaten by Gao He before. What the hell? Zhou Rui said contemptuously. I heard that after old San went to the capital, he also ran to chase Wang Ying. As a result, Wang Ying was too lazy to get rid of him. This time, I don't know who helped him get into the pig farm. Zhanghai University is a key university in China. It has good exchanges with many well-known large enterprises. Every year, it will recommend a group of excellent graduates to these enterprises. Of course, those who can be recommended by the school are not necessarily the best students. Wan Hongji quietly pulled him, and Zhou Rui suddenly came to his senses and closed his mouth. In front of Lu Chun, don't mention Wang Ying. Lu Chun didn't care. He smiled and said, don't worry about him, the ceremony has begun. In the majestic music accompaniment, the 2011 graduation ceremony of Zhanghai University officially began. In the beginning, the school leaders gave a speech. The content was nothing more than recalling the past and looking forward to the future. After the leaders finished speaking, it was the speech of the representatives of the outstanding graduates. Everyone listened drowsily until the diplomas were handed out. Zhanghai University implemented a credit system. If you have enough credits, you can graduate. Lu Chen muddled along in his freshman and sophomore years. In his junior year, he worked hard to save enough credits for graduation. Otherwise, he would have to give up on getting a graduation certificate and go to the capital to work in the senior year. Lining up to take the heavy red certificate from the principal, Lu Chen could feel the weight of it. Although Lu Chen may not use this certificate in the future, it represents the past he once had. The happy, the sweet, the sad, the painful, the hard past. After receiving the graduation certificate and changing into a bachelor's robe, everyone ran to the lawn to take graduation photos. One for the computer science group, one for the classmates, one for the dormitory brothers. The continuous clicking sound, accompanied by laughter, formed the main melody in the university at this moment. Put aside the sadness of parting. Please remember our college life. Don't forget, 2015. At 7:00 in the evening, the graduation party was also held in Heliang Grade Auditorium. Compared with the graduation ceremony during the day, the number of students who came to the graduation party was more. The auditorium with 6,500 seats had at least 8,000 plus people. Many of them stood in the aisles on both sides, and there were also some who sat together. Many people were not graduates of the 2011 class. They just came to watch the excitement and send off their seniors. The big stage for the performance was ready. The huge LED background screen constantly replayed the promotional video of Zhanghai University. As the music sounded, the lights were turned on, and the two hosts of the party appeared first. Respected leaders, respected teachers, respected guests and friends who care about the development of Zhanghai University. Good evening, all the students of Zhanghai University. First of all, let us use the warmest applause to say to the teachers who have paid countless efforts and sweat for our growth. Teachers, you have worked hard. With the cadence of the speech of the male and female hosts, Zhanghai University's 2015 graduation party officially began. Warm applause sounded in the auditorium, like a summer storm. Dancing the melody of youth, fluttering the notes of youth, igniting the boiling enthusiasm, burning our dream of flying. We gather with a beautiful vision, full of joy. We are melancholy because we are about to leave. We meet in this colorful and gorgeous season. The eyes are full of emerald, bowing to touch the new green. Dear teachers, dear students, when we hear the cicadas in the summer, we usher in the last moment of separation. Tonight, nearly 10,000 teachers and students have gathered here, bringing with them a different kind of mood. When the host showed his eloquence on the stage, Lu Chen quietly came to the backstage of the auditorium. Chapter 76. Zhanghai University's activities involving cultural performances are basically held in Heliang Grade Auditorium. The scale of this auditorium is very large, and the backstage is also very spacious, with a director's room, dressing room, changing room, electronic room, props room, and even a shower room and a lounge. When Lu Chen came in, there were at least 100 or 200 people in the large dressing room, most of whom were students who were going to perform on stage. Many girls in beautiful costumes had put on makeup and gathered in twos and threes to chat and laugh. Lu Chun has participated in many cultural performances and is no stranger to the backstage of the auditorium. He found a seat in the corner and sat down calmly. He opened the guitar case and took out the guitar. While tuning, he practiced his hand. His performance in the evening is scheduled for 8:30, so it's still early. Lu Chun. Just as Lu Chun strummed the strings and hummed in a low voice, he suddenly heard a soft call from the side. Hearing this familiar voice, Lu Chun secretly sighed in his heart. He put down the guitar, turned around and asked, "Wang Ying, long time no see. What's the matter?" In front of Lu Chun is a girl in a white dress. She is about 160 meters tall and well-proportioned. She has an oval face and willow leaf eyebrows. She has long hair and thin makeup. She is quite an outstanding beauty. Wang Ying, who studied in the Chinese department of Zhonghai University, is also Lu Chun's ex-girlfriend. Lu Chun's indifferent tone made Wang Ying frown. She hesitated and asked, "Lu Chun, did Chao Xiuzhu tell you? My uncle's company in Hangzhou is recruiting people, and the position is very good." "I know, the class monitor has already told me." Lu Chun interrupted, "Thank you for your kindness, but I plan to develop in the capital, so thank you." Lu Chun. Wang Ying's eyes flashed a touch of displeasure, and her voice rose a notch. "Can you not be so stubborn? What future do you have in the capital? Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to consider the situation at home, right?" Her face showed an expression of exasperation at his failure to meet her expectations. Lu Chun smiled instead. "Wang Ying, it's been so long, but your temper hasn't changed? I don't think we have anything to talk about." Wang Ying was not angry. She asked thoughtfully, "Lu Chun, do you still hate me?" Lu Chun shook his head, got up and said to Wang Ying, "I used to hate him, but now I have figured it out. I think even if nothing happened to my family, I'm afraid the two of us wouldn't have been together for long. Plus, I had my own problems back then, so no one needs to blame each other. When we meet again in the future, we'll still be classmates and friends." Wang Ying looked at Lu Chun in a daze. Such a rational and mature Lu Chun made her feel very unfamiliar, as if the person standing in front of her was another person. There is a sense of loss. After a while, she said in a daze, "All right then, goodbye." After that, Wang Ying turned around and left, not very willing. Lu Chun smiled. He was very clear about Wang Ying's thoughts. It was nothing more than to make up for the guilt of breaking up with him. But he had nothing better to do. Staying in Hangzhou to get a very good job? As for the entanglement with Wang Ying, the past can't be recalled. Let the past be the past. Lu Chun just wanted to sit down again. Suddenly, he felt something was wrong and subconsciously looked to the right. Just a few steps away from him, there was a beautiful woman with bright eyes and white teeth. The aqua blue evening gown perfectly accentuated her graceful figure. A pair of insanely straight long legs were casually swaying. Her bright and spirited eyes carried a faint smile, and her exquisite picturesque face was pleasing to the eyes. She sat there quietly, but the light she emitted was enough to illuminate the darkest corner. Lu Chun couldn't help but be stunned. Su Xian. Su Xian was a very famous figure at Zhonghai University. She was the department flower of the foreign languages department. She was a female top student who won a first-class scholarship every year. Moreover, she was versatile in singing and dancing. The number of pursuers was comparable to the number of carps crossing the river. Lu Chun knew Su Xian. Of course, there were not many people who didn't know her, but it was only limited to knowing her. He didn't expect that Su Xian would hide here alone. He didn't notice it just now. In Lu Chun's limited impression, Su Xian was always surrounded by a few attentive flower protectors. Su Xian blinked and said, "Lu Chun, I didn't mean to eavesdrop on you too." Lu Chun couldn't help laughing. "Sorry, there's nothing wonderful to disappoint you." Su Xian chuckled and immediately said, "To be honest, I feel that Wang Ying still has feelings for you." Lu Chun and Wang Ying, the couple who used to be in love, were also a little famous at Zhonghai University. Maybe, Lu Chun said, "It's all in the past." Su Xian understood that he didn't want to talk more, so she changed the topic. It must be very difficult for you to develop in the capital, right? She rarely talked to boys because there were too many crazy bees and butterflies. It was really troublesome to say a few more words and cause others to misunderstand. Tonight, in order to avoid those pursuers, she deliberately ran to the corner of the backstage. As a result, she accidentally saw a dialogue between a former couple. Su Xian had heard a little gossip about Lu Chen before and appreciated his performance just now. A man should have self-respect, self-improvement, and self-confidence. So, she didn't mind chatting with Lu Chen for a few more words. Anyway, everyone will go their separate ways tomorrow. Lu Chen smiled and said, "It's not easy. It takes a lot of effort. I hope I can succeed." He asked, "What are your plans after graduation?" This sentence was probably the most asked among the students today. Su Xian said, "I'm going to Wharton Business School to study." Wharton? Lu Chen exclaimed, "Amazing!" Wharton Business School was the world's #1 business school. It was affiliated with the University of Pennsylvania in the United States. It had a history of hundreds of years and had trained countless business elites and economists. However, it was extremely difficult to enter Wharton Business School. Lu Chen's sister, Lu Shi, had longed for this famous school, but the reality was that her choice was still a domestic school like Beijing University or Tsinghua University. Su Xian was extremely beautiful, and her academic performance was so outstanding that Lu Chen couldn't help but admire her. Su Xian smiled and said, "Thank you. If you have the opportunity to come to Philadelphia in the future, remember to have tea with me." Lu Chen smiled bitterly and said, "I don't even have her contact information." Lu Chen didn't have the idea of pursuing her, because he and Su Xian were undoubtedly people from two different worlds. However, they had a good chat now, so he mentioned it casually. Su Xian was very generous and directly gave Lu Chen her QQ number. "Private number, please don't give it to others." Lu Chen recorded it in his mobile phone. Su Xian got up and said, "It's almost my turn to go on stage. Goodbye, Lu Chen." Lu Chen also stood up and said, "Goodbye, Su Xian." He knew that the two probably wouldn't have many opportunities to see each other again. There was a touch of regret in his heart. Such a beautiful girl. Even if they weren't a couple, it was a great fortune to be friends. Watching the figure of the other party disappear into the backstage, Lu Chen had just sat down when his buttocks just touched the surface of the chair. Chao Xiuzhu, the class monitor Chao, ran over gasping for breath and complained when they met. "Lu Chen, why are you hiding here? It took me a while to find you." Lu Chen was surprised. "What's wrong?" Chao Xiuzhu said, "Your performance has to be advanced. The 2 programs before you need time to prepare, so you are arranged to go on stage after the next program." Lu Chen said, "I'm going to faint." The university's gala was very random. Of course, large-scale programs had rehearsals and time arrangements in advance, but in case of an emergency, a solo program like his would have to go on stage. "Don't faint, I'm going to faint." Chao Xiuzhu was anxious. "Hurry up and get ready. Do you want me to help you with makeup?" "No need, no need." Lu Chen quickly said, "Help me send this to the director's room first, and wait for me to play it on stage." He took out the USB from his pocket and handed it to Chao Xiuzhu. As early as last month, Chao Xiuzhu called Lu Chen and told him about Lu Chen's performance at the gala, so he made a music video early to accompany his performance. "No problem." Chao Xiuzhu took the USB and hurried to the director's room. Lu Chen exhaled. He turned around and looked at himself in the mirror of the dressing table. "I have to work hard." Chapter 77. Girls in rainbow-colored feather dresses walked briskly down the stairs leading to the backstage like butterflies. The relatively narrow space was filled with the fragrance of cosmetics that could make people's heart beat faster. These beautiful girls had just finished a dance performance, and the applause in the auditorium had not yet subsided. They were talking and laughing, and the sweat on their foreheads was mixed with gold powder, shining under the light of the wall lamps. Lu Chen, with his guitar, politely turned sideways and pressed his back against the wooden wall to make way for them. Several girls looked at Lu Chen curiously and kept walking past him. leaving a string of silver bell-like laughter. On the stage outside, the host was announcing, "Thank you for the wonderful performance of the 24 beautiful girls just now. The next program is from the computer science application major, a male solo. His name is Lu Chen. Let's welcome him to the stage with applause." As soon as his voice fell, Lu Chen, who was already standing at the exit of the stage, immediately stepped forward and stood under the spotlight. Facing nearly 10,000 alumni and teachers at the scene, he showed a confident smile. After the baptism of the light blue music carnival, even in the face of a large audience, Lu Chen would not be nervous.
He believed in his own song.
Applause rang out. Although it wasn't very enthusiastic, many students still gave face to him. In particular, Lu Chen's classmates were desperately clapping their hands, and the loud whistling sound was very professional. Lu Chen was tall and handsome. His family used to be rich, but he did not have the kind of playboy of a rich family. Moreover, he was usually very willing to help others, so his popularity among his classmates has always been quite good. Many people knew about the changes in Lu Chen's family, and they also knew that he ran out early to work to make money. Their applause was their support and admiration for Lu Chen because it was not easy to do what he did. In seat number 19 of the 37th row of Heliang Great Auditorium, Wang Ying raised her hand and clapped twice, then immediately put it down. She stared at Lu Chen standing in the center of the stage and suddenly felt that the latter was very strange. The girl sitting next to Wang Ying quietly leaned over and asked in a low voice, "Why? Do you still miss him?" Wang Ying shook her head blankly. She didn't know what was wrong with her. They had broken up for so long, and the two of them had made it clear. But there was always an emotion lingering in his heart. The girl next door advised earnestly, "Don't think too much about it since we've already split up. What's the use of being handsome now? With your qualifications, you can totally find someone better than him. For example, that Chen Peng is very good." Wang Ying frowned and said, "He and I have already passed and I didn't think much about it." The girl next door chuckled and said, "That's right. For us girls, finding a suitable husband is the most important thing. It's so tiring to work hard in society. The housing prices in Hangzhou are so expensive. It's not worth it to suffer with a handsome guy." Wang Ying listened to it in one ear and out the other. She didn't know where her mind had drifted. At this moment, Lu Chen was speaking into the microphone and said, "Thank you for your applause. The song I'm going to sing here tonight is written by myself, and it's the first time I'm singing it in public. I'll give this song to all the girls, all the junior sisters and senior sisters, because it's because of you that Jianghai University is a truly beautiful campus. I wish you will always be young and beautiful." There were countless laughter in the auditorium, and many girls applauded again, more enthusiastic applause. Most of the boys were envious, jealous, and hateful, and there was no lack of secretly cursing. Using original works to please girls? You're dreaming. If you don't sing well, you'll be booed off the stage. Let's see if you can act cool. Handsome guys, especially handsome guys who can play the guitar, are the most annoying. However, Lu Chen did not feel the resentment from the single people. He turned his head and gave a thumbs up to the director on the sidelines, indicating that he could start. After a while, the image of the new song's music video appeared on the huge screen behind Lu Chen. He gently plucked the strings and played the prelude, gently and softly. The first thing that appeared on the LED screen was the virtual scenery of Jianghai University, and then the silhouettes of girls accompanied by sketch flowers quietly appeared, setting off the 4 hand-painted artistic words, "Those flowers." That laughter reminds me of my flowers, quietly blooming for me in every corner of my life. I thought I would always stay by her side. Today we've left in the vast sea of people. Are they all old? Where are they? Just like this, we run to the ends of the world.
La.
Miss her.
La.
Is she still blooming?
La. Go.
They've been blown away by the wind, scattered to the ends of the world. A touch of sadness, a touch of nostalgia, a low singing about the past. Lu Chen's playing was simple and concise, but the beautiful melody and lyrics made this song have the power to hit the heart. Especially those girls, They looked at the familiar or unfamiliar photos that appeared in the music video on the big screen. Those were the memories of their youth, those running, hugging, jumping, playing. The past reappeared in front of their eyes, happy, sad, sweet, excited. They were about to graduate, about to be blown away by the wind, scattered to the ends of the world. Some stories haven't been told yet, so let's forget it. Those feelings have been difficult to distinguish between true and false in the years. Now the weeds are overgrown here, and there are no flowers, fortunately. I once had your spring and autumn, winter and summer.
La.
Miss her.
La.
Is she still blooming?
La. Go.
They've been blown away by the wind, scattered to the ends of the world. Are they all old? Where are they? Just like this, we run to the ends of the world. The auditorium, which can accommodate thousands of spectators, was very quiet. There was no applause, no laughter, no talking. Everyone was listening to Lu Chen singing. Some girls were already sobbing. The song aroused the romantic hope and the involuntary sadness in their hearts. Like dandelion flowers that bloomed unexpectedly in the right time and place, their souls seemed to be lost along with the fluttering flower catkins and could never be recovered. Lu Chen played and hummed. Memories surged. The flower that left the most profound mark in his life was his senior sister, Wan. She appeared at the time when Lu Chen was at his lowest. At that time, his father had just passed away, and he broke up with Wang Ying. After experiencing great changes in his life, he was decadent and gloomy, like a walking corpse. And Wan's appearance, like a bright sunshine, dispelled the darkness and haze in Lu Chen's heart. She used her tenderness to soothe Lu Chen's wounded heart, so that Lu Chen finally got rid of his depression and faced life again with a strong will. But Lu Chen couldn't keep Wan. After graduation, she emigrated to England with her family. Even Lu Chen's best friends didn't know about this relationship, and he didn't tell anyone. He had always suppressed it in his heart. Today, he sang this song here precisely for Wan. Her photo was also in the MV, smiling brightly. Are they all old? Where are they? Just like this, we run to the ends of the world. Unknowingly, Lu Chen's eyes were wet with tears. He had never sung so emotionally, and his voice was choked. In the audience, many girls had already burst into tears. They either sobbed alone or hugged each other to comfort each other, wantonly venting the emotions that were aroused in their hearts. Wang Ying bit her lips, and the look in her eyes was extremely complicated. Intuition told her that this song of Lu Chen was sung for his most beloved person. That person was not her. She was also moved by the song, but when she thought of this, her heart seemed to be bitten by a poisonous snake. Strong jealousy and pain, as if she had lost her most cherished treasure. The picture of the MV was finally fixed on a photo. On a drizzling afternoon, in the depths of the old streets and alleys, the silhouette of a gentle and moving woman holding a paper umbrella. The dense water vapor made the lens hazy, and it was impossible to capture her true face. But that beauty, like an orchid in an empty valley, was destined to become one of the most profound memories of all the witnesses. Lu Chen finished singing. He straightened his chest and said to the microphone, "Those flowers, thank you, everyone." He wanted to thank all the flowers that appeared in his 22-year-old life. Because of their existence, life is wonderful. Note, those flowers lyrics/song. Pushu. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.